Hello, all, and welcome to the Make Life Matter podcast, episode 1. Dun dun dun. Shit, y'all know it's been coming for a while. I've been talking about it. You know what I'm saying? We've been making a little bit of announcements about it. I know I previewed it a while back, but you know what I'm
Yeah, a
saying?
while back.
A while back, you know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy part. We should have been done this. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? You can see I got a guest with me. This is my brother. He goes by Wizdom, and you can follow him at Wisdom Cracked. So what you gotta say to him,
Yo,
Wisdom? You know what I'm saying?
yo, what's up? Today we're talking about society and, as a former semi-professional, not really gamer, I feel like I'm very qualified to
Not
talk
really
about that.
gamer.
So, that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Overqualified to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like video games are just like real life, right? So
Man, tell me about it. They really are, though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight till you level up, man. And you gotta beat the bosses. You know what I'm saying? So it really is just like life. But before we get into that and everything that we're going to be talking about here today, I just want to give y'all the mission statement of the Make Life Matter podcast. We are here to expand consciousness and inspire critical thinking plus self evaluation for individual improvement with the purpose of questioning mainstream thoughts and ideas. Do you hear me? Do you understand? You know what I'm saying? We want to question the things that people say we should think, or that, you know what I'm saying, you can think of it as the government, you can think of it as the man, you can think of it as social media, as the construct that we've been laid out before us that we call life. You know what I'm saying? Any of that, man. Like, what do you think? You think you got a lot to say about that, Wisdom, about the construct that's before us called life, man?
I think I have a lot to say about it. I mean, whether or not you think it's correct, I think that's a whole different thing. But that's why we're here, so we can talk about it. You can challenge the the mainstream. I've been known to do that from time to time. I would say, like, my whole life playing
Oh,
devil's advocate. You know what I mean?
that's your favorite job.
I say, yeah, dude. It would really annoy my teachers. You know what I'm saying? Like in school.
Yeah, nah, facts for real. You know what I'm saying? I just tended to play video games in school, so you know what I'm saying? It wasn't much paying attention going on, but I still passed every class. So,
That's crazy.
you know what I'm saying? Go crazy. But, before we start off, last thing I want to say is we are not here attacking anybody. So don't get your panties in a bunch. If you know what I'm saying, hear something that feels a little offensive to you, you know what I'm saying, we are only examining culture. So if you're a part of that culture that we're talking about, maybe you should reevaluate yourself a little bit, you know what I'm saying, if you feel that you so need to. So, you know what I'm saying, don't get offended. Just participate in the discussion. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, leave a comment.
yeah, definitely no. Comment, rate, subscribe, all of that, because you know what I'm saying, engagement drives this stuff, this shit. I don't know. I'm trying not to curse cuz I'm like, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how that goes. But you know what I'm saying?
So it's not going well right
It's
now.
not going well right now. But uh you know what I'm saying? I want to get the discussion started off here, and I want to say, like, we were talking before, right? And we were talking about, you know what I'm saying, the problems in society, like the problematic things of society, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be men or women, anything like that. Um, what do you think, Wisdom, is one of the main problems in society today? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is something that a majority of people, you would say, struggle with, or, you know what I'm saying, you know, struggle with? We'll leave it at that.
What, like, people struggle with? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Like,
mean, I feel like there's a lot of struggle happening everywhere. I feel like society is the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the
society
main
is,
struggle.
oh my
But you
gosh.
like society itself, like the culture, because I mean the culture nowadays is like so toxic, and it's like, I don't know, it just puts everyone on the struggle bus except rich people. but that's that
Nah,
they don't exist like in the same universe as like average people. You know what I'm saying?
nah, they don't.
Like, but
They don't.
like I say, like all the average people are struggling, bro. You know what I mean?
This is facts. I feel like that's facts. You know what I'm saying? We might look up some statistics here, but we're really here to talk about, you know what I'm saying, the stuff we're here to talk about. You know, we're not one of those statistic heavy podcasts like that. We're not going to do it like that. But yeah, so I agree with you that society itself is the struggle, man. You know what I'm saying? We're set up to struggle from the beginning. We have all these different constructs of, you know what I'm saying, I say ways of thinking, you know what I'm saying, because we really make the culture, well, we don't make it, but the mainstream media really has people thinking certain ways that are really honestly truly detrimental to society. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like do you know about that it's a trend right now, I you know what I'm saying, like the on YouTube and stuff like that, the
Mm.
the chosen ones trend. Have you seen that on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Everyone,
The chosen ones trend.
yeah, like
I
everyone.
think our feeds show us different things, so you have to explain it to me, man.
So like all these videos where, like, you know what I'm saying, they're like, okay, chosen ones, if you're God's chosen one, or if you're a chosen one, you know what I'm saying, you're here to enlighten the world and do this, and as a chosen one, you've always been standing out from the crowd. You never were a part of, you know what I'm saying, the in crowd. You were always out on your own, a loner, mocked, made fun of, everything, like all these things that they're talking about. If you're a chosen one, then these are quality traits that define you. And you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to be like one of the chosen of this generation or whatever, to spark change and break generational curses, and you know what I'm saying, things like that. You know what I'm saying, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube right now. A lot of people getting a lot of YouTube views from doing these chosen one videos where they talk about, you know, the chosen one, and have all these different stories and anecdotes about, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in a chosen one's life. Like they'll be like, you know, you have someone right now gang stalking you, you know what I'm saying, and they're out to undermine your undermine your what do they say, undermine your plans, you know what I'm saying, and keep you from progressing forward and
What? So you
achieving the
have like,
things.
is this like the this time's version of like the man, like the man is out to get you, and like
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah,
that
yeah.
goes wrong in your life is like, what I'm saying, like it's the man, like the man got you fired from your job or whatever, like that, like
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like to
kind of
me.
like the man, but it's more like they're saying, like, you know, the individuals, or the man would be the individuals in your life, or the opposing force in your life. So it could mean anything, right? Like, you know what I'm saying, it could mean, you know what I'm saying, sometimes they'll be like, you know, I feel like this person that's standing in your way is a family member. You know what I'm saying? This ties into the tarot as well, because a lot of people who do the chosen one videos are tarot readers, and so this is why they talk like
Mm.
this. This is why they talk like this. But they'll be like, you know,
Yeah,
I've,
see,
go ahead. Yeah.
like well, I'm like, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that. Like I don't think I'm not like an anti-spiritualist. You know what I'm saying? I think there are things. I think like because I understand where the spiritual people are coming from. Like I understand that. Like I just don't, and like I don't agree with everything they say, but I'm not really against like what they're saying. Like I'm not really like in the quote unquote like manifest crowd. Like people are like, oh, manifest. Like, oh, I'm gonna manifest $1 million. I'm like, you're not manifesting $1 million. Like, what I'm saying? It's like
But why don't you
it's
think?
lines.
Why don't you think that they're manifesting $1 million? Because
Well,
you know what I'm saying, if
it's
they
well, I
thought
like
it,
to.
and you know what I'm saying, then they brought it into this reality, then didn't they manifest it?
Well, I'm like, see, that's the problem, bro. Like, because like it's like what they do is they make these connections, like like what I'm talking about, where people like they be reading way too much into things, where they like, oh, like, did you watch this movie? And at exactly 5 minutes, he said the word chicken, and then chicken is like, well, I can't spell, like, well, like a 7 letter word or something. I don't know. Like chicken
Yeah.
is has blah blah, it ends with the en, and then en stands for English, and then the English actually they went to war in 1972,
Oh my gosh. No, I know
divided by
exactly
18, and then
what
they
you're
like come
talking.
to
I know
these crazy
exactly what you're
conclusions. I'm like,
talking
brother,
about.
like there's like a
Yeah.
connection, but it's like it's not like one to one. And I feel like they always pretending like it's one, because like they always pretending it's like a one to one connection. I'm like, there's steps in between that. And I'm like, I'm not saying like, I'm saying like
But
your mindset, like I think your mindset influences your life, right? Which is what manifesting is essentially is.
it definitely
But like
does.
saying that you manifested $1 million just because you thought about it, like even if that's not what they're trying to say, that's how they're presenting it. So I
Well,
have a problem with that.
I
That's
think
why I have a
that
problem with it.
what I see is how they're trying to say it is like they're saying, okay, like I manifested this $1 million because I thought about it. I said I want $1 million. I thought about it. I said, how I'm gonna make this $1 million? I'm gonna go sell water. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go sell water in the desert towns. You know what I'm saying? Where there's not much water. And you know what I'm saying? So when I went out and sold, I made a lot of money there and I made my $1 million. So I manifested that $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Like there was planning and effort that went into it. I don't think they're just saying like I made, you know what I'm saying, $1 million pop out of nowhere. But at the same token, there are people that I think do believe that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people manifest $1 million because they won the lottery. You know what I'm saying? They manifested that winning ticket or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what they would say.
I
You know what
think
I'm
they just
saying?
pulled the winning ticket. Like I don't think they manifested it. I think it's just random chance. Like I don't know. Like I understand what you're saying, and like kind of agree with you. But I mean, like I just don't agree with how they're saying it, because like even if they're saying it to mean that, the way they're saying it is not communicating that. It's like you can understand that because you're looking at it through the context of your life, but that's not what they're actually saying. Like I feel like this is what we were talking
Mm,
about in the previews. It's like you have to look at how it appears to the average person, right? And the average
right.
person is most of the time not thinking on that deeply of a level. Like, and I mean, so they're just gonna be like, oh, manifest. So if I think about it, it's gonna happen. And then that's it. And they don't understand all the hidden layers, which is why I have a problem
Well,
with that. Like
yeah.
I just wish people would like that's one of my big problems with society, since we're talking about society, I'm saying like
Yeah.
I wish people would just use language that cannot be misinterpreted, because everyone's
That's
like,
true.
that's the thing, bro. It's like, you got the person like reading your fortune, like that's what it sounds like to me. You got the person reading your fortune. It's like,
Yeah.
do you have problems in your life? And you're like, oh my gosh, like I do
I
have
do have
problems. Like, how did you know?
problems.
It's like, bro,
Whoa.
everyone has problems. And
Right.
it's like, do you have struggles with family? And then they're like gauging your reaction. And it's like, and he's like, nah, I don't think I actually have struggles with family. He's like, are you sure? And he's like, wait a minute. Actually, the other day, my brother, he didn't he actually didn't pay me back the $10 that he owed me. It's like, oh my gosh, how did you know? I didn't even know that. It's like, bro, like they're
Oh,
literally
Mr. Krabs
scamming
meme.
you. Like
He's
they're
up there
literally scamming
scamming
you, bro.
you.
It's like, what I'm talking about. It's
So
like
do you?
they coming
So
up with all
then,
this stuff.
real quick interjection. Then, since you say they're scamming you, do you not believe in psychics? You don't believe in
Do
psychics?
I not believe in psychic? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm saying I can't explain how psychics work, and I'm saying if I knew, I don't know a lot about psychics or whatever people think about that, but I'm saying I
Right.
can't explain it, but I can explain a lot of other things. I think if you can't explain what you're doing, I think what you're doing has. I'm not gonna say zero value, but it doesn't have a lot of value, especially to the
Right.
common person, bro,
Right.
because a lot of people don't understand how to actually explain things. That's a thing. Like
Well,
when I was
explaining,
making,
yeah, explaining things is a skill. In all honesty, it's a
yeah,
skill. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of society these days is lacking as well. The skill to explain the things that come out of their mouth or the thoughts that they're thinking, you know what I'm saying? Um, but one of the things though that I think like is a problem in society that a lot of people have a problem with, you know what I'm saying, male, female, dog, you know what I'm saying, all these
dog,
different, yeah, all these different labels, you know what I'm
fly.
saying, couches, you know what I'm saying, all these things that people want to label themselves as, you know what I'm saying, everybody wants instant gratification. And I think that goes along with the manifesting thing. Like how you said, people are like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to think about this and then it's just going to pop up into my reality. You know what I'm saying? So everyone wants instant gratification, you know, and I really think that a big part of the instant gratification, you know what I'm saying, mindset is social media, right? Because on social
Mm,
media, you see all these people that seem to be living this lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are just flexing about, you know what I'm saying? So it's all fast money, do this, do that, instant gratification. People expect to just, you know what I'm saying, get it like that. They don't expect to have to put in any work. They just expect it to happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like nobody wants to put in the work anymore, like at all. And then on top of that, you have that coupled with the other half of people that I believe, you know what I'm saying, have a victim mentality. So something's always getting in their way, you know what I'm saying? Something's always stopping them from doing what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? And these are like the excuses that people make when, you know what I'm saying, they do stuff and it doesn't work, you know what I'm saying, or they don't do the right things, you know what I'm saying, and it just makes them, you know what I'm saying, blame everybody else instead of just saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, what I did didn't work, or I didn't try hard enough, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that, and taking
Yeah.
accountability for, you know what I'm saying, what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's always someone else's fault, man. And I don't think that we can progress, you know what I'm saying, at all, you know what I'm saying, like with people thinking like that, bro. If no one's willing to take accountability for anything, then, you know what I'm saying, how are we ever supposed to grow and, you know, learn? Because like personal growth is really important uh for
Hmm.
society, you know what I'm saying, and for people in general. Like, you know what I'm saying, what were we watching the other day? That video you sent me, and we're talking about people's consciousness level, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And, you know what I'm saying, I feel like taking accountability is a part of, you know what I'm saying, those higher consciousness levels. You know what I'm saying? If you are conscious, you know what I'm saying, my personal thought to myself is, you know what I'm saying, everything is my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like if something doesn't work
Yeah,
out
I
or
agree.
whatever, like it's my fault because, you know what I'm saying, like I didn't do something or I did the wrong thing that led to this outcome. Like you have to think about what you did, you know what I'm saying, or what you didn't do, you know what I'm saying, that led to your outcome, because you can only change you and, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing and how you're moving. You know what I'm saying? You can't change how someone else moves. You can give people, you know what I'm saying, suggestions and give them, you know what I'm saying, advice and everything, but ultimately how they move is up to them. So you can't, you know what I'm saying, how can you blame somebody else when you have no control over them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I 100% agree with you, and I like I definitely came to this conclusion like a long time ago. Like I remembered when I came to that conclusion actually when I was like, I think I was trying to play professional video games, and I was in the victim mentality. Everything's always my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my teammates are bad or this, that, the third. And I
Right.
remember when I came to that conclusion, and I was like, you know what? Like, I can't change other people. So the only way I can achieve success is if I change myself. And
Yep.
because so like I had to switch up how I was doing things, right?
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you that like people need to take more personal accountability, but I think there's two aspects to it, right?
Yeah.
Like I think there's what you're saying, and then I think that like there's what you're saying is correct on an
Mm-hmm.
individual level, right?
Okay.
But I think what you're saying is incorrect on a societal level. You understand what I'm trying to say, or
Okay.
not really?
Why
Like
is it incorrect on a societal level but correct on an individual level? Like expand on that a little
like
bit.
so like if you remember the clip that we had when we had like our point episode point five podcast, whatever,
Yeah.
the clip where I was talking about like average people are not going to change, right? And I'm like,
Right.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
change as an individual, but average people are not going to change. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
it's unreasonable to expect everyone to move up in consciousness. Like if you are listening to this right now, you can stop being average. Like no one is forcing you to be average. It's not like people always
Yeah.
think like, oh, I'm born a certain. Well, I'm just born average. No one's born average,
No,
okay, or below average.
I would argue that we're all born above average.
Like, yeah, well, we are above average in some aspects. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And below average and others are evened out. We all have different specs, right? But I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, I'm saying no one's like stuck in the middle of the bell curve or at the bottom of the bell curve, in terms of like average in society. No one's stuck there. If you are listening to this,
True.
you can 100% as an individual start taking responsibility for your actions and change your life. But that's why I'm saying you're correct on the individual level. Like, yeah, take responsibility for your actions and change your life. But what I'm saying is incorrect on a societal level is saying that it's possible for everyone to do that, because it's just not going to happen. We're never going to get to the point at a society, or at least from doing podcasts. Like, I don't know, maybe if I was like the president, like, you know what I'm saying, and I could reform the entire education system, like,
Right.
yeah, we could get to the point in society where everyone learns to take responsibility for their actions or whatever else. But I'm not the president, you know what I'm saying? And whoever is the
He said I'm
president,
not the
you know what I'm saying? This is
president.
another thing with politics, which is like politicians don't select for good people. They select for people that are good at screwing other people over. So they don't actually select for the best leaders. But you know, that's a
Yeah.
whole different topic.
Yeah,
But
true. We won't get into that right
but
now.
like, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that average people are always going to be there. So like I'm kind of moving away from blaming the individual when we're talking about society, and
Right.
I'm trying to
Right.
fix, you know, the people who are running society. I feel like it's their fault because they're glorifying the thing is, like, people are taught incorrectly. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, have you ever had, I'm asking you this, have you ever had like you achieve something, right?
Yeah.
And then like you've been working on achieving this for a long time. And
Uh-huh.
then like someone sees what you achieve and they're like, wow, you're just so lucky. You're so talented that you can achieve that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, I believe. Yeah, but I've had that. To answer your question, I've had that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys didn't know, I make music, you know what I'm saying? So you can check that out
Um,
on my channel at This Is Malik, you know what I'm saying? Right up there. You know what I'm saying? Just type that in. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? People have told me before, like, oh bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, your music's so dope, bro. Like, you're so talented, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so easy for you. And I'm like, bro,
yeah, exactly.
this wasn't easy, bro. Like, you know
Like
how
they
many years I've been doing this, bro? How many painstaking hours I spent, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
watching YouTube tutorials and, you know what I'm saying, practicing and mixing and mastering and practicing my projection and, you know what I'm saying, my pronunciation and all this other stuff and my metaphors, you know what I'm saying? Like, crazy.
Right. Right, exactly. And then like but they don't this is what I'm saying, they're taught wrong because everyone's taught what they have in their head is I'm a normal person, and then when they see someone achieving something, they assume that they're not normal. So that's why they assume they because
Mm,
that's what they're taught. They're saying, like, you know, they teach you in school, like they say like, oh, you can be anything you want, but no one actually believes that, right? You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
And even if they do
I
believe
believe
it, they
that.
try.
I believe that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, like even if they do believe it, they try, right? And then they don't how do you say it? They try and then they realize it's hard, and then they don't think it's hard for everyone else. They just think everything's supposed to be easy because that's what they're taught. Everything's
Right.
easy, you know what I'm saying? They never have to put in any real effort, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, "Oh, it just must be easy for them." And then they quit and they don't understand, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
that everyone had to put in effort, or like 99.9% of people,
I had to
like,
put
you know
in
what I'm saying,
effort.
like had
Right.
to get to where they're at, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
get you.
that's their mindset, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when you're saying like you need to take responsibility for yourself, they're thinking in their head, well, you're just special, you know what I'm saying, and you don't understand my struggles as an average person, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what I mean, like when they're just taught like that, you can't say anything to them, you know what
Right.
I'm saying?
They have that idea and that mentality stuck in their head, and there's really nothing you can do to change that opinion because they only see that one side. They're not able to see you know saying other viewpoints or perspectives, and so they think they have the end all be all answer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and like, you know what
Okay.
I'm saying, that's not something like any individual to correct. It's a societal issue, which is, you know, needs to be corrected by the people in power. But the people
Right.
in power, like the politicians, are not interested in doing that because it doesn't make them any money, essentially. So like, why would they do that? You know what I mean?
Nah, for real, exactly. They're focused on making money. But you know what I'm saying? On top of that, like, you know, another thing that I think contributes to these type of different mindsets and things like you know what I'm saying, you can agree or you cannot agree. I want to know what you think. Like that contributes to this stuff is social media, bro. Social media. Like um
Yeah,
social media has really pulled the wool over the eyes of society. You know what I'm saying? Like everything on social media is a flex or is, you know what I'm saying, a projected lifestyle that, like I said before, a lot of people aren't even living. So when you have those things, you know what I'm saying, that like you said, when people go and say, look at that person and be like, oh, it was so easy for them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, just last week, you know what I'm saying, or they were doing this or they were struggling or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but now they got a Bentley, they got a Lambo, they got $1 million, they got the baddest bitch, or they got the strongest nigga, you know what I'm saying, or whatever,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying, that star basketball player or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and really what they don't understand and take into account is that social media is only the things that, you know what I'm saying, people want you to see. So you're getting a misrepresentation.
right.
You're getting a misrepresentation of people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
everybody, you know what I'm saying, has that Lambo on, you know what I'm saying, social media, but you know what I'm saying, you don't see behind the scenes that when they got done taking pictures with that Lambo, they went and took it back to the dealership. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't living like how, like, I'm not saying everybody's a fraud. And that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying a lot of these people, man, that you guys look up to and that you chase, and you're like, I gotta be having shit. I gotta be having shit because everybody's having shit. Oh, damn, I was cursing. Okay. But, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be having stuff. You feel me? Like, they don't even got it like that. You feel me?
Hmm.
They don't even got it like that. So it's all just a persona and just an image. So, you know what I'm saying? Focus on having good character, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like
Hmm.
it's not, that's how I feel. Focus on having good character, bro. But a lot of people's character is bad too. So that's just, you know what I'm saying? Another story, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. But I mean, again, society's fault. They don't teach people to have good character anymore. They teach people to be individualistic. People are too individual focused, right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it used to be, you know what I'm saying? It used to be different where like people would focus on like family over individual needs. And America has always been
Yeah, facts.
individualistic based, you know what I'm saying? But even then they had to focus on family and society back in the day. Now they don't have that because they got rid of all the rules and now anything goes except for telling other
Yeah.
people what to do. Well, I mean actually that still goes too, but it just depends on like what side you're on the political spectrum
Right.
if you whether or not you can tell people what to do.
Wait, what? Okay, sorry. What do you mean by it depends on the side of political spectrum you're on, whether you can tell people what to do? As a politician, can't you just tell people what to do?
No, because I mean, there's a side that's PC, right? And then the side that's PC is a side that is the public side. You know what I'm saying? Because this is
Oh, right.
politically correct. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So if you're
Okay,
not
I get
politically
you.
correct, if you're politically correct, you can tell people what to do. If you're not politically correct, you can't.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Even if
Facts.
everyone thinks it,
Facts. That's facts.
right?
That's true. That's where you get all these, you know what I'm saying, like uh podcasts and things where they're like, we're saying the things that people think, but they're too afraid to say, or you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, and things like that. All right, now I get you. Most definitely. Um I want to hear some more about your thoughts on what something that you just said. You said that oh man, I just lost it. Uh what are you,
It's
oh, you
fine.
said family. No, you said family. Right, right. So I was
Oh
saying
yeah, yeah.
the family structure, and you said focus is not on family anymore, and people are more, you know what I'm saying, individualistic rather than family oriented or things like that, like focused on the family. And I agree with you, but I was a little deeper take on that. Like, what would you say is the, like, you know what I'm saying, like, is the problem? Like, because I feel um like it's a kind of, I'm not gonna say a one-sided issue, but from what I see and what I, you know what I'm saying, have uh experienced, you know what I'm saying, in my circles and things like that, you know what I'm saying, is that most of the time, you know what I'm saying, I believe that it's the woman that is more individualistic, because a man will be like, you know what I'm saying, he'll be miserable, you feel me? And be like, bro,
Mm,
I gotta provide for the family, and he'll keep working, keep toiling, you know what I'm saying, come home to an argumentative wife, or you know what I'm saying, like all these no
mm.
dinner, all these things, and he'll just keep on pushing and keep on, you know what I'm saying, keep on pushing, keep on
No
doing
dinner.
it, bro. But like the woman, bro, like as soon as she's unhappy, or as soon as she's not feeling as joyful and doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying, she's getting the same feeling or the same vibe that, you know what I'm saying, she was getting at first, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, she has no wherewithal usually to push through and be like, well, we're gonna make this work or whatever. She's just like, oh, I'm unhappy, so this must be the end of the relationship. I have to leave, I have to go because my happiness is so
Right.
important. It's so
Hmm.
important. So, you know what I'm saying, like you said, like, I think that also, though, that mentality, you know what I'm saying, comes from, this ties back into the social media thing, bro. Like, for real, like, you know what I'm saying, women ain't, you know what I'm saying, what incentive do women have to work it out, you know what I'm saying, or fight through, you know what I'm saying, when the next nigga is right around the corner, right around the bend? They probably got 47 of
Hmm.
them niggas in their inbox, you know what I'm saying, messaging them right now,
Yeah.
asking them, can they send them $1,000, take them out on a date, can they hit that pussy, you know what I'm saying, like, can we say that on YouTube? I don't know. Hit that
I mean,
cat, you know
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying?
You
We
can
we
you
really
can
have
bleep
to,
it out if it's
you know what I'm
too
saying?
offensive.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I might, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it on there. I'm gonna see if it comes, you know what I'm saying, gets taken down, and then I'll re-edit it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much incentive for a woman to just move around, you know what I'm saying? Like, guys don't move around like that, you know what I'm saying? Because usually, like, once they're committed and they're dedicated to something, they're dedicated. This is what they're doing. And then on top of that,
Mm.
like, most guys, in my opinion, like, most guys, like, don't have, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, action like that. I'm not gonna say most, but like, there are a lot of people who don't have emotion like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and it just is like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, girls to me are like really picky, bro. Like, they're picky. They all want the same things. Like, they're picky in terms of,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, they want the same things, right? They all want a nigga who makes six figures, who's 6 foot, who 6 inches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
I
know,
don't know. I think that specifically part. I think that's over. I think it's overstretched. Like I think it's true to an extent, but I think it's overstretched.
right. I will. So here's what I mean by that. I'm not literally saying 666. Oh, ooh, 666. Damn.
Oh, here we go. The extrapolation,
Oh my
bro. You
gosh,
know,
bro. So did you
Britain's
know
about to
that's
blow up the
six
United
six
States or something.
six is, no, I'm just playing. But you know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, like, every female has that checklist that she's filling out in her head, right?
Mm,
And you know what I'm saying, if you don't meet the requirements of that checklist, like, for the most part, you really have no chance. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yeah,
You know,
but
you know.
like,
Go ahead.
but like, well, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, like, I agree with that, but I mean, I have been in that headspace. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, this is what I'm talking about. Where I feel like I'm more concerned with reality, and I think like right now, I totally agree with what you're saying,
Right.
right, about like women. But the thing is, it's just a power shift. You know what I'm saying? So it's like men used to be like used to have the power in the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now it's a power shift is happening, and women are abusing that. And
Definitely.
like men, when they were
Definitely.
in power, they were also abusing it to some extent. You know what I'm saying? Like you can
Okay.
argue whether or not which one was worse, but I mean, like the thing is, whoever's in power,
And expand on that real
most people are
quick.
gonna abuse it.
Expand on that real quick. How were men abusing it? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I say that the only
Well,
reason I ask that is because, like, you know what I'm saying, when men, you know what I'm saying, were in power, I feel like it was like that's where traditional values come from. You know what I'm saying? Women are the homemakers. They stay home. They take care of the kids. They don't have to work. All
right.
their bills and all their expenses are taken care of. So, you know what I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, like, you know what I'm saying, to me, it's like, I don't see how that's the abuse of power, except for maybe,
Well,
you know what I'm saying, okay, like, women couldn't vote, so they really didn't have a say in societal norms or things like that. But other than that, like, they
right.
had it on easy street, bro. That's a small
I mean,
sacrifice to make, in my opinion.
well, I think here's let me say this right. Like I agree with you, but I'm saying I'm gonna disagree with you where you're saying they weren't abusing their power in that instance. But
Right.
I feel like a part of the problem is like I think they were abusing their power in sense of they were holding themselves above women because they weren't equal, right? You understand? They weren't equal, right?
Right.
They were different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can argue about the value transaction, but I would say, yeah, like, if you are buying a woman, I mean, it wasn't this simple. It wasn't like I don't know, feminists, they really like to talk about like, oh, well, he just could buy any woman. That really wasn't how it works. Like, what I'm saying, most of the time, most people are not making enough that they could just walk up to any woman on the street and say, I got 7 cows, for your daughter. Like that was not really how it was working. Most of them
Seven
were already
cows.
being courted and stuff, but that's a whole different thing. But what I'm saying, but yeah, men did have the power in the relationship. And I would
Yeah.
say, yeah, that is abusing it to some extent because like, what I mean, the woman, like after a certain point of, like it's settling. You know what I'm saying? Like after a
Yeah.
certain point, she didn't have a decision. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But here's
yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna say about that, right?
Yeah.
Like they're abusing their power, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That's what I'm saying. I like to get away
Right.
from this,
Right.
like all like people like it was a
I
good thing for
get you. I
society
get
because
you.
society. What's up?
No, I said I get you. I get you. Keep going.
Yeah, like society worked back then when men were in power, and
Yeah.
when men are in power, society works better. You know what I'm saying? So
I
yeah, they were
agree.
abusing it to some extent, but I mean like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I used to be really mad at like women, be like, women, they got all this power and they just, they never do the right thing, and I'm like, well, like,
Tell me
like,
about it.
like if men were in power on average, I'm not talking about anyone specifically, on average men
Right.
would be abusing it too. And back then they were, women couldn't vote. They were basically, I'm not going to say they were treated like property, but there are some
Yeah.
aspects of that which were true. You know what I'm saying? They were
Right.
tied to a man. They can't do anything outside of the context of the man, but society
That's
worked
true.
back then.
Yeah. I
You know
feel
what I'm
like
saying?
we had less problems back then, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, we
For
did.
sure. For
With
sure. And less hoes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because the problem is that's another thing. Promiscuity, the sexual revolution, which is really like it's the opposite of a revolution, is going backwards in thinking. But
Yeah.
the sexual revolution, yeah, it doesn't work. Which is why we're seeing a lot of societal problems right now because it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like
It
it's just not
doesn't
how nature works. Like just because you can do something doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
you
you
should.
should. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, like, but that's I want to take a more fair approach. I don't want to just take like the red pill approach where I just say like all women are bad and this that the third because I
Oh
really think
no,
it's
not at
not.
all. I don't think all women are
I,
bad either, you know what I'm saying? But continue what
well,
you're
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah. But I mean, like, I don't want to like. I don't want to place the blame on them because, like, again, that's not going to solve anything. Saying women need to
True.
change their ways, they're not. And I mean, if men needed to change their ways in general, they probably weren't either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all
Yeah.
comes with the people in power. Those are the people with the really power to change it. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's true, but I think too, like we have to, as you said earlier, that individualism and that
Yeah.
societalism. You know what I'm saying? Like that we, like as a society, also, you know what I'm saying, in our specific gender roles and outside of them, have to take accountability for where things are going. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just what the government or what the media is showing us, because the media could show, like, we're all intelligent, right? We all, you know what I'm saying, have an
Depends on what you
understanding.
mean, but sure.
Right,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is we all have an understanding of right and wrong, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Things like that and
Mm,
all that. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
To some
I'm not. I'm
extent,
out to disagree with you.
to
I'm
some
out to disagree
extent,
with you.
you feel like we don't. You feel like people don't have an understanding of good and bad, or you know what I'm saying, what's best and what's not best. They don't have an understanding of
No.
that on a
No, they don't.
simplistic terms, because
No.
you know what I'm saying? I was saying that to get at the point that, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I agree with you in saying that, you know what I'm saying, we have to take responsibility, you know what I'm saying, for it, and that men have responsibility in it as well, like for the issue that I was just talking about with the more hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when more women are being promiscuous, more women are, you know what I'm saying, flaunting their sexuality, you know what I'm saying, they're leaving nothing up to imagination, they're putting it all out there, they're sex workers, they're OnlyFans, all these different things, they're having sex for
Uh
money.
huh.
But like, would they be able to do those things and succeed in those things? You know what I'm saying? If men were not paying and viewing and, you know what I'm saying, entertaining these things, like it, like men, you know what I'm saying, I agree, like I'm a
Mhm.
man, you know what I'm saying, obviously you're a man, like would you agree that
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
men do not want a hoe? We don't want a hoe.
I
But
think
we
yeah, 100%.
but we will go underneath, you know what I'm saying, well I don't, but we will go underneath, you know what I'm saying, a woman being promiscuous, showing her body on the internet, and catcall her in the comments all day, and shooting her inbox, and send her money, and all this other stuff, trying to get her attention, because, you know what I'm saying, what you want to do, you want to smash or whatever, you know what I'm saying. But like, imagine if she posted that up and she got no feedback, or, you know what I'm saying, she, you know what I'm saying, got guys commenting, you know what I'm saying, on there saying, oh my gosh, another hoe, like you know what I'm saying, like so
Yeah.
tired of, you know what I'm saying, seeing women expose their body and, you know what I'm saying, demean themselves online. Like, you know what I'm saying, then women wouldn't be
Yeah.
doing it, you know what I'm saying? So we as men, you know what I'm saying, have to take responsibility in that as well. And, you know what I'm saying, really, like, you know what I'm saying, look at ourselves and be like, bro, like what are we encouraging? You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
Yeah.
the media promotes that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Sex sells, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, it only sells because we buy it. That's it.
That's true.
You know
But
what I'm
I mean,
saying?
do you see a world where people stop buying it? Because I don't.
Yeah, I, 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 I can't say that I don't see one, but I can't say that I do. I think that it's really up in the air. What's possible? Anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Now, is it
But is it
likely?
probable? That's what I'm
Is
asking. Yeah,
it
is it probable?
probable? Is it probable? You know what I'm saying? With the way things are going, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it probable, but I definitely think it possible. You know what I'm saying? And I think things like, you know what I'm saying, these type of conversations, you know what I'm saying, at least to the people who have some type of ear and want to hear, like the Bible says, you know what I'm saying, those who have an ear, let them hear. You know what I'm saying? The people that really hear it, you know what I'm saying, and take it in for what it is, you know, that they can help influence their communities at least, and the people, or even just the people that they are around, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you know what I'm saying, in any leadership role, like you have to lead by example. When they see you stop doing this or stop doing that, you know what I'm saying, they have more higher chance of being like, man, I've seen them stop doing this, stop doing that. And you know what I'm saying, it's created some good changes and things around them, so maybe I should stop doing this, stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you believe in? I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can say I'm a believer in supporting the community, bro. I don't know if I can say if I'm a believer in that. To
yeah,
be
I
honest.
mean, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing about that. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we should be supporting our community and supporting the people in our community and things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Showing them support. Like, we'd be a lot farther along. And I think more people would be where they want to be in life if we as a community and as a race, you know what I'm saying? Like if we, you know what I'm saying, promoted and supported our community and our members. But like I have to agree with you when I say like, nah, I'm not really into the, you know what I'm saying? I try to be in terms of like when I see somebody
But
doing
you
something,
wish, right?
you know what I'm
You
saying?
wish.
Yeah, I try to be supportive, but like more times than not, like, you know what I'm saying, I get into that mentality too, I have to say, of being like, I'm not really for supporting because ain't nobody supporting me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
like, you try to support them, and then they bring out the pitchforks. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, is you're endangering yourself supporting them. So it's like,
okay,
and
so
that's happened to me a lot of times,
what do you
right?
mean by that? What do you mean by that? Because like I feel like my thought process was a little bit more on the selfish side, right? Of like, well, ain't nobody supporting me, so why should I be supporting them? You know what I'm saying? Type like that. And I'm not saying that that's exactly how I think, but you got to admit we're human, and you know what I'm saying, you have
Yeah.
these thoughts, you know what I'm saying, like, you
No,
get
yeah, I have
tired.
those thoughts too.
Yeah, you get tired of being like, you know what I'm saying, let's say, I make music, your homie makes music, or you know what I'm saying, whatever, and I know him, and every time he drops something new, you know what I'm saying, I'm sharing it on my page, I'm, you know what I'm saying, upping them, I'm commenting on it, everything. But you know what I'm saying, when I drop something, like, they're nowhere to be found. But they can message me and say appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Half the time they don't even say appreciate you for doing it, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, sure.
but you know what I'm saying, that gets a little frustrating, you know what I'm saying? After a while, like, man, like, you know what I'm saying, what am I doing all this supporting for, and I'm not receiving no support back? Because that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, one-sided interaction, you know what I'm saying, like, you're not getting
Right.
anything back for it. So you know what I'm saying, can we
Yeah,
really
yeah.
say that we do
I,
anything
I,
without
I,
wanting, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I agree with you on that, but I think like, well, first, I feel like first we got to unpack this, right? Because there's multiple layers to what I'm saying. So I agree with you on that. But I mean, like for me, like yeah, when you try to support people and you don't support people, don't support you back. Like for me, like yeah, like when I first was doing it, it was frustrating. But after I kept doing it for a while, I had to really ask myself, I'm like, is this about me getting something back, or am I doing this because I think it's the right thing to do? And at the time, I had to say, well, I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do. So, I just stopped expecting anything back. I'm just like, I'm doing this because I want to support the community, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, for whatever it is, it didn't have to be like upvoting or anything. But like the thing is, like where I'm at now is I'm like, well, I'm not really about supporting the community anymore. And it's not because I don't think it's the right thing to do or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's just because it don't work.
Right.
Like people
Right.
always, huh? What do you say?
No, I said right, right. It doesn't work. It doesn't. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. So like people always like I don't know. I really have a problem with like this super positive messaging. Like I was watching a video the other day and bro was like, at the end of the video he was like, guys, remember, hate will never win. And I'm like, that's nice to say, but hate has been winning since the beginning of time, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a cool buzz thing to say, and yeah, it sucks to be like, yeah, society pretty much runs on hate. Like, I'm saying, like the mother of invention is war. You know what I mean? And that's reality. You know what I'm
The
saying? Like
mother
hate
of
does drive
invention
society
is
far more
war.
than love and peace and all that. You know what I mean? And if you're
Yeah.
biblical, Satan is the king of this world. You know what I mean? And that's what that
Right.
is, if you're biblical. But
Right.
even if
Yeah.
you're not, you can still look at the objective reality, what I'm saying, that hate does drive the world. And so I have a problem with a lot of these like hyper positive messaging. So it's like, yeah, it'd be nice if supporting the community worked. And that's what everyone in the black community likes to say. They're like, oh, support the community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, support the community, right? But
Yeah.
the thing is, I support the community, right? Like when I figured like all this stuff out, like taking personal accountability, I didn't know any of that stuff. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I can actually change my life if I take
Right.
accountability for my actions and change that. And I
Yeah.
tried to tell people, and then what happens? They get mad at you. Well, you're trying to tell me how to live, and I'm like, no, bro, I'm just trying to help you. Look, bro,
Yeah.
like, look, I'm
No
trying to help you,
facts.
bro. And they don't understand. They no, bro, and that's what I'm saying. They bring out the pitchforks, and it's
Yeah.
like I keep get what happens is I try to help someone, then they don't want to get help, and then I'm getting attacked. Like that's what they don't understand. Like I'm getting attacked by them for me going out of my way to try and help them. Like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
hurt them, I'm not trying to scam them, I'm trying to help them. But
Right.
they're attacking me for that. And then then I get in my feelings. I'm like, bro, this is so stupid. Like, bro, how they hurting me when I'm trying to help them? Then I'm like, nah, but it's the
Right.
right thing to do. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And then you keep doing it, and the same thing happens. Keep doing the same thing happen. And then now I'm at the point where I'm like, it just don't work. It
Yeah.
just don't work.
I
So
can
that's why I'm gonna
see.
stop doing it
Yeah, I
because
can
it's just
see.
it just hurts me. It hurts me, and then it also don't work. So I'm like, why am I doing this?
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I can definitely see the frustration in that. Nah, for real, but I understand that because I've experienced that too, bro. Like when you're really just trying to communicate something to somebody to help them and they can't see that and they think that you're trying to, like, that is the main thing that people say these days, like, oh, you're trying to control me and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, make me be what you want to be or make me do what you want me to do and all this other stuff. And it's like,
It's like, nope.
bro, nah, I'm just trying to enlighten you, bro, so that you
I'm
can.
trying to help you like about the
Exactly.
shit you're complaining about, bro. Like you're
Exactly.
complaining about it. And I'm like, bro, I have the solution, bro. I can help you out of your frustration right now, bro. I already did
Yep.
it. I already did the hard work. I'm trying to make things easy for you so you didn't have to go through what I went through. And they
Exactly.
know you're trying to control me and blah, blah, blah. Or they don't even say that. They just don't want to hear it, bro. And then they get
Nah,
mad
for
at you
real.
when you keep trying to help them.
Nah, for real, bro. And that's that. You're right that that is harmful, bro. Like when you have someone fighting you on, you know, what I'm saying you trying to help them get past a point in their life that they're saying they're frustrated with, bro. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? People are not appreciative at all, bro. So I understand what you're saying when you say it doesn't work and why you stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
can't say that my reason for stopping doing it, you know what I'm saying, originally when I stopped originally was that noble, you know what I'm saying? Or that you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that noble, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm back at it trying again, you know what I'm saying, as you already know, because the MLM platform is for, you know what I'm saying, supporting you know what I'm saying, different creative visionaries in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? We're not just, you know what I'm saying, about music, though that is our main thing, you know what I'm saying, but we are dipping and dabbling in a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, as a collective. And you know, we are trying to show support to our Chicago, starting with Chicago artists and visionaries, and then expanding out eventually to different states, you know what I'm saying, to try to show their support, because I feel like a lot of, you know what I'm saying, underground creatives don't have, you know what I'm saying, platforms that they can actively get on, you know what I'm saying, and be advertised and stuff like that, or be discovered on. So, you know, that could be a dead mission, you know what I'm saying, and I could be beating a dead horse, but we're gonna try it
Right.
out. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Well,
know.
well, I think, can I say something?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
I think like when I say it doesn't work, what I mean is in general, right? Like it works for some
Yeah,
people. Like obviously, like when I woke up, whatever you want to say, like got out of the matrix, whatever. When I woke up, like I watched a video and then someone basically said what I'm saying right now, you got to take personal accountability. I remember what he said. What was I
yeah,
saying? He was like, "Bro, the reason you're not good at the game is because you suck. It's not because your teammates, you know what I'm saying, or whatever." And I was like,
right.
dang, bro, like really? And I had to think about it. I was like, what? Like, are you like really, bro? You
Right,
know what I'm
like
saying?
I suck. I
Cause,
can't
cause,
believe it.
cause that's how I felt. Cause that's what everyone did. They say, oh, I'm not moving up because my teammates. And it's like, and the bro was like, he said the hard truth. He was like, bro, no, bro, it's because you're bad. And I was like, dang. And then I had to figure out how to get not bad. And then
Right,
my life got about better, right? So I don't think it's useless. That helped me. But so I think like this is the best place where we can really talk about individuals moving up because
yeah,
there's you don't have to have a one-on-one interaction. Like people
right,
can just hear it and then they can think what they think, and if they're not interested, they don't have to bring out the pitchforks. They can just click away. And if they do bring out the pitchforks, it helps us. Dislikes our engagement, so it helps us. You know what I mean? So if you want to bring
nah,
out the
that's
pitchforks
facts.
and say you're a terrible person trying to
Ah,
control me, like please do. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you.
you know what
I
I'm
appreciate
saying?
it. You know what I mean?
Wizdom, he's prepared for the hate, man. He actually hopes that you hate, you know what I'm saying, and bring out the pitchforks. You know what I'm saying?
I
He's
mean,
looking
like I'm
forward
just saying
to
it's
it.
engagement.
No, I know. He's looking forward
Like,
to it, man. He's looking forward to it. But you know what I'm saying? I want to go back real quick and get back onto this subject. Um back on the promiscuity subject that we were
oh
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want to get back on that for a second. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say is like the biggest cause of the promiscuity today? You know what I'm saying?
But like
And
the sexual revolution, like why that
yeah,
happened.
yeah, the sexual revolution, why that happened.
Well, I mean, well, like basically, the real problem is what I like to call modern day feminism. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I've been
Mhm.
thinking about this, and let me define modern day feminism. So first of all, feminism. When I say feminism today, I mean modern day feminism. And originally, feminism was not bad. Like I think feminism, like getting women to vote. You know what I'm saying? I believe
Yeah.
that like there's some part of me that's like, yeah, when women could vote, things were better. But in general, yeah, women should be able to vote. Like it really doesn't make any
Right.
sense to like not let them vote. Is why I think women should
Yeah.
be able to work a job if they want. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, were things
True.
better when women weren't working? Yeah, but should they be able to work? Yes, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like
Hmm.
I think feminism was a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Even if
I
I think it
think
makes my life worse,
I think
but
that I'm gonna say it like this: like feminism in and of itself wasn't a good thing to me, but it brought about some good things. You know what I'm saying? I
what do
feel
you
like
mean?
because I feel like like okay, like you said, you know what I'm saying, women can work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if they want to work, they should be able to work. You know what I'm saying? Women can vote. Yeah, if they want to vote, they should be able to vote if they want to have a say in society because they do live in society, so they should have a say
Yeah.
to vote in society. But I think it created a lot of bad things, you know what I'm saying? Because um like now I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the fit like females I feel like are already predisposed to being a little bit what is the word? Vain. You know what I'm saying?
Females
Vain.
being vain?
Yeah, females are really vain, and I feel like the feminist movement has, you know what I'm saying, this empowerment that they're saying they're giving women is really just making them more vain and more entitled because they feel like, you know what I'm saying, they are God's gift to this earth. You know what I'm saying? And that their presence alone, you know what I'm saying, is worth all this stuff, i.e., you know what I'm saying, you know, just because I'm a woman and I'm giving you the time of day, you have to pay all my bills and you have to get my hair and my nails done and you have to
Mm.
all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, that is comes with them when, you know what I'm saying, at the same token, they're not giving the same things that they were giving once before. Like once in the past, you know what I'm saying, the way far beyond past, like when you got a woman, you know what I'm saying?
Far beyond past.
Yeah, far beyond past. You know what I'm saying? When you got a woman, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a big likelihood that she had 12 bodies or 50 bodies or, you know what I'm saying? Or
Well, she'd
whatever.
be dead. She'd be dead if she had 12 bodies.
Right,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. She'd be dead.
she
So, you know what I'm saying? You were getting a virgin, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why men, you know what I'm saying, paid, you know what I'm saying, in terms of you getting their nails done, providing, paying for all their bills, everything. You were getting a virgin, and that virgin status was like, you know what I'm saying, sought after by men. You know what I'm saying? Like now, you know what I'm saying, these girls come used and abused, you know what I'm saying, and still want you to pay full price for the used car on the lot. Like it doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? How does that make sense? You've been used, but you want me to pay market value price for it. It doesn't make sense. I need a discount, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. You know, do you not feel like that? Like cuz that's how I feel. Like,
well,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I
and then on top of that, hold on, let me add this one more thing too, and maybe,
mhm.
you know what I'm saying, like on top of that, like, you know what I'm saying, these women, like with that smelling themselves and that vain mentality and everything's about me, 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 like they don't want to do anything anymore. Like before, it's like if you got a wife, it was a good thing because, you know, they're gonna cook, they're gonna clean, they're gonna take care of the kids, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, all these different things. They're, you know what I'm saying, now, you know what I'm saying, a lot of women can't cook or don't want to cook. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be homemakers. You know what I'm saying? They want to be, you know what I'm saying, the breadwinner, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you
Nah, they
know.
don't want to be the breadwinner, but yeah.
They
They
want to
want to be
be
they
they
want to
want
be
to be
using all your money.
they want to be
They want you to
boss
be the breadwinner and use all
they
your
want
money.
to be boss babes. They want to be boss babes. They want to have all this, you know what I'm saying, money and stuff. But you're right, though. They do want to use your money, you know what I'm saying. But they have, or let me correct what I said. They have this boss babe mentality. You're right. They don't want to be the breadwinners, but they have a boss babe mentality. So they feel like since they're this boss babe, that in order to be with this boss babe, you know what I'm saying, they should offer and bring nothing to the table, you know what I'm saying, but that you should provide everything. Like that, this they are the table mentality is
Mm.
is freaking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Right. Again, like it's freaking ridiculous to me. This I am the table, you know what I'm saying, thing. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like bro, like how are you the table when I'm bringing everything to it? Like what? Like it doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Like it doesn't. Like shouldn't we both be putting things on the table? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't why
Well, like let me. Well, I feel like there's a lot to unpack there, and I have a lot to say about that. So,
All
all right,
right, let's hear it.
let's just start at the bottom. So, like the first of all thing, like yeah, like I don't really agree. I kind of agree, but I kind of don't agree. So, like I feel like you're saying that like women are entitled, and it's like yeah, I agree with that. Like yeah, they are entitled, but I think
Yes.
they were always entitled, and they always acted like that, but they just couldn't do it, right? Because society
What do you
prevented
mean?
them. So like so like the culture is exposing problems that were already there underlying. You understand what I'm saying? So like
Right. Yeah.
women were always like that, but they couldn't function in society if they operated. So like if we go back, 100, 200 years or whatever, and they
Yeah.
acted like they act now, they couldn't function in society. Like I said, they'd be dead. Like I'm not, they'd
Yeah.
be dead or shunned from society, like because
Right.
like promiscuity did not fly, right?
Right. It didn't. That's true.
So like I don't think that they're like I don't like they are acting entitled, right? But I mean like I think they were just always entitled. Like what I'm saying is they're just abusing the new power that they had.
Yeah.
And if
Nah, you can keep going. You can keep talking.
okay. Yeah, like and if they had that if they had that power back in the day, for example, if they had that power back in the day, they would have been abusing it too because women like have not changed. You know what I'm saying? They have not changed.
Right.
The society has changed. Their wants, like they always wanted to do that stuff
Right.
if they could have. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
But they couldn't. So then, like, I think it's exposing problems that were already there underlying, but they weren't surfacing because of the society. So, like, I do agree that they're being, promiscuous or whatever. And, like, yeah, they're destroying the society and they have no idea what's going on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, in general, we're always talking in general. Okay. I'm not talking about you individually. All right. But like
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that, and that's why I'm saying it goes back to a societal issue. Like the problem is society is allowing this to happen and it's destroying itself, because the people in
Yeah.
power, they don't care about society working, they care about making
Making
money,
money.
right?
Yeah.
So or have making money, having power, it's all power dynamics, you know what I'm saying? And they are scheming the system to basically allow this because it's giving them another avenue to have more money and power over people, right? So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's like a societal issue, and I really think I used to blame women. You know what I'm saying, and be like, it's their fault for acting like this. But I mean, like when I think about it now, like I mean, it's just average people are gonna act average. You know what I'm saying, and the
Right.
average
Yeah.
person is not gonna overcome the societal challenges. An average person is shaped by society. They don't shape society, right?
Yeah. That's that's extremely true. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, expect an average person to be average, but yeah, people do not shape society. But here's the thing though. I feel like as, you know what I'm saying, children of the most high, that we should be shaping society as the creator created. I believe, you know what I'm saying, as we're made in his image, then we should be creating. We shouldn't just be following the narrative that we're given. You know what I'm saying? That makes a lot of followers, and you know what I'm saying, like you see what becoming followers does, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, if you're biblical, you know what I'm saying, the angels
Mm,
that followed Lucifer, you know what I'm saying, they all got cast, you know what I'm saying, out of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And they got to go to hell
right.
with Lucifer. So, you know what I'm saying? I really feel like that's a good representation of what's going on in society is everybody's falling, you know what I'm saying? Because no one's shaping anything. Not no one, but you know what I'm saying? Majority of people aren't shaping anything. Majority of people don't even have their own opinions about things. Their opinion was something that they heard somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't
All right.
it had no real thought base in themselves, you know what I'm saying, at all. Like they don't know why they believe it except for that they heard it and they
Well, they don't even know who they are. They don't know anything about themselves. That's why I'm saying they're products of their environment because they haven't even discovered themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
their level of thought about themselves is non-existent. They're subject to their feelings, and this is the thing why women look so unreasonable because society allows them to be unreasonable, and they never have to separate themselves from their feelings. That's why their feelings are the truth, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are just driven by their feelings. They cannot separate themselves from their feelings. And that's the first level. Separating yourself from your feelings is like your personal feelings and understanding that your personal feelings are not reality, right, is the first level. And then the
Right.
second level is understanding that your personal beliefs are not reality, you know what I'm saying? Or like they can be a part of reality, or like not everyone believes the same things that you believe. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
yeah,
Same thing with your
exactly.
feelings. Not everyone believes, or not everyone feels the same way that you do. The second part is not everyone believes the same things you do. And you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's part of growing as a person. But I mean, most people are not. People are average. People are not going to do that unless you force them to. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. And you're right. Most average people are not gonna do that. Um, but I feel like I feel like if we could somehow like okay, if we could somehow get people to be, well, I guess you already answered this because you're saying that that's not going to happen, you know what I'm saying, because people don't care, or you know what I'm saying, people can't think in this way. But like if we
Mm,
can get people to care about things, you know what I'm saying, a little bit at a time, right? You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
maybe shift the aspect of things. So instead of like, sitting here and rambling on all day about these type of things and trying to force feed people into changing their mindset directly, we could say, okay, let's create a TV show where the underlying message is to critically think, or you get what I'm saying, or something, to where
Yeah.
people are getting fed that in their subconscious, because that's all that everything is today anyway, media and everything
Mm,
subconscious, you know what I'm saying, like we were talking about with the whole feminism movement and everything, you know what I'm saying, like it starts in movies, you know what I'm saying, where they're projecting, I mean portraying the woman, you know what I'm saying, going out and having an affair because she's unhappy,
yeah. Like Sex in the
or
City. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Sex in
Like
the
yeah.
City, you know what I'm saying, or having all these sexual experiences, you know what I'm saying, and like they're promoting the exact opposite of what is best for society and what it actually is wanted by the people in society, you know what I'm saying, for their respective genders, if it's something, a gender issue, you know what I'm saying, for their
Mm,
respective genders. Like they're promoting all this, you know what I'm saying, female sexuality, and you know what I'm saying, embracing, you know what I'm saying, your sexuality again. I don't know why I messed up, you know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, embracing all of this, you know what I'm saying, and doing all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, being with different guys and all of this, and being
yeah. Like emotional based reasoning.
exactly
You know what I'm
emotional
saying?
based reasoning, exposing themselves on the internet and things like that. And like most men think in the same way, where like, you know what I'm saying, a gift is only special if it's wrapped for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, see, look, I remember something I was gonna say about that actually. So
yeah.
like, I kind of disagree with you there. I don't think
So
the main
you
problem.
don't think
Oh
that
wait, hold on.
okay.
Okay, I don't think the main problem is how many bodies a female has had. I don't think that's the main problem. The main problem,
I think that that's a contributing
I
problem.
think most guys, like as long as it's reasonable, like like anything above three is kind of like, bro. But like as long as it's reasonable, you know what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
most guys don't actually care about body count. But here's the caveat though. What they do care about is whether or not you're gonna cheat on them, right?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Right?
but
And body count is it's an aspect of that. So when you say
right.
you have 10 bodies, they don't care
Exactly.
that you have 10 bodies. What they're hearing is, well, why are you going to stop at 10? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
Exactly. No, I
you know what I'm
get you.
saying?
I get exactly what you're saying. And I would say that my version of that is, I'm saying that I was going to say body count does matter because, you know what I'm saying, to me, it's an indicator, you know what I'm saying, the more bodies you've had, you know what I'm saying, like, the more bodies you've had, the more things you have to compare it to, right? And you know what I'm saying, the more things you have to compare it to, we all have preferences and we all have, you know what I'm saying, things we like and dislike. And if you have 15 experiences to compare it to, and you're like, man, you know what I'm saying, out of those 15 experiences, this one ranks, you know what I'm saying, number 13 on my list, and you got all these options, back again with the social media thing, all these options, you know what I'm saying, out here for you. Now you've just raised the chances of cheating, you know what I'm saying, because you're like, ah, well, I want a better experience, and I know there's more people out here that I can actively and, you know, easily get in touch with and in tune with, even right around the corner from you, bro. Especially if you're a female, bro. It's nothing to, you know what I'm saying, post up a picture, a guy DM you, you know what I'm saying, and next thing you know, you're at his crib getting rammed, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you know, like, so I do feel like, you know what I'm saying, body count, especially for a woman, is an indicator of, you know what I'm saying, like, if she's gonna cheat or not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like they care about infidelity. They don't care about how many bodies you've had necessarily, but they care about your chance of infidelity. And then
right.
it's an indicator to that. And I wanted to say something. What was I gonna say about that? I was gonna say like, dang. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's what I was saying. Like, like I was gonna say like, the Kevin Samuels thing about, women comparing their experiences. I agree with that. Like there's this thing where women get stuck on the highest setting, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Kevin Samuels always said. They get stuck on their highest setting, and then the thing is, their highest setting is not reality. That's what a
No,
lot of women don't understand.
they
You know what
don't.
I'm saying? Like men and women do
They
not think
live
in the
in la
same
la
way.
land. They live in la la
Well,
land.
well, well, yeah. Well, I mean, like they just don't. Well, they don't. They think that men think like women, and the men
Right.
also have this problem, but it just doesn't manifest in ways that matter as much. But women think that men think like women. So, like, if a woman, right, if she wants to sleep with someone, right, that's like her highest, like, what I'm saying, that's like her highest, like, give. That's like the most she
Yeah.
can give. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
if she wants to sleep with you, you're up there to her. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah. True.
men, it does not work the same way. Like you could be men that they don't care. Like if you kind of cute, that's it. A
Right.
guy needs to sleep with you. You know
Exactly.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah.
So
For real.
they they looking at someone. So like a guy who's like let's say you want to do the numbers. I think the numbers thing is kind of, I don't know. Forget about that. Anyway,
Nah. Bring
like
up the
let's say a
numbers.
guy who's
If you know the numbers, bring up the numbers. Or if you want to Google them real
no, no, no,
quick,
no,
Google the numbers.
I'm bringing them up. It's okay.
All right.
Like if you have a guy that's a nine will sleep with a girl he considers to be a five. Does he want to be with her? No, but he'll
Right.
sleep with her. But then the
Yeah.
girl who's a five, she'll be like, in her head, she thinks that they were dating, but he already knew
Yeah.
he was just gonna
Just
sleep
finna
with her and that's it, and there was
smash
gonna be
and
no
dash.
relationship. But then she gets
Exactly.
stuck on that. Well, I got, they say I pulled, or I got a guy who was a nine because she
Yeah.
basically offered herself up on a silver platter, and then she thinks, then she comparing everyone to that guy that she comparing. So like she meets a five and she like, well, you're a five. I got a guy who was a nine, but really that didn't happen,
Right.
right? Because
Exactly.
he was not finna, there was 0% chance of her actually, what I mean,
Sit
elevating
right.
herself in the status in his mind, right? But
Exactly.
she thinks that the guy think like her, and then him sleeping with someone is like the highest level of like attachment, which is not at
Right.
all.
It's
It's the
not.
lowest
I
level
was
of
gonna say it's the
attachment.
lowest level of attachment for
Like
real. I could sleep with a
exactly.
I could sleep with a female that I hate if her booty fat and she look cute.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, bro, like what? Like, bro, think about all the guys. Like, if you're a girl, like, think about all the guys you could just walk up to and be like, "Yo, you want to sleep together, bro?" And they would just say yes. Like, think about all the guys that you could do that to, bro. There's so many of them, bro. They don't gotta know nothing about you. And then think about if a guy
Exactly.
walked up to you. Think about how good that guy would have to look and be for you to say
Right.
yes. Like,
Exactly. No, for real.
like you will understand the difference right there. You will understand the difference right there. Men and women do
Exactly.
not think the same way at
Don't
all.
at all, at all, at all. Like, man, that is a good point, bro. That is a good point. Like, you know, oh my gosh, that's funny. No. But yeah, so I think that that is a problem with women, you know what I'm saying? Like they're a little bit they're all of them are kind of a little bit delusional. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't
Well,
have a
I think let's be fair. I think most people are delusional, but like women are just they the ones who are in the position to show it as much more. You know what I'm saying? I think let's be fair.
all right, we'll be fair. Yeah, a lot of people are delusional, you know what I'm saying? But I guess to me, you know what I'm saying, I tend to as a man notice, you know what I'm saying, more like it's the essential product of like what the Bible says, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, how can you take the plank out of your brother's eye when you have a whole log in your eye? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
times, you know what I'm saying, we tend to focus on the log on the other person's eye and not focus on the log in our own eye. You know what I'm saying? Not specifically talking about myself, but just talking about the way that we talk about
yeah.
things. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just don't want to turn into like one of those like manosphere like podcasts or like people would be like, oh, all women suck, blah blah
I
blah. Or
don't
even if
think
that's not
I
what they're
don't I
saying.
don't think women suck at all. You know what I'm
Well, no,
saying?
I'm just saying like that's how it sounds, when you're saying women this, women that. That's why I want to be fair. You know what I'm saying?
We can be
Like I want to
fair.
be fair and truthful.
To be
You know what I'm
fair,
saying?
everyone has problems, you know what I'm saying, male and female. But I think that just what it comes down to is like the problems that we're, at least in my opinion, some of the problems that we're talking about right now, I feel like is a bigger problem in the female category. And that's why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Like when we get to a topic that I feel like is more of a male dominated, you know what I'm saying, category, then I'll be like, you know what I'm saying, men. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sexist or discriminating against it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know what I'm
I
saying?
know that. I'm just announcing it for everyone because you know that in your head, but the way it's coming out, what I'm saying, can sound very anti women, which I don't think is your idea. You're just talking about problems in general, and
Right.
obviously you're a man, so you're gonna see things from a man's perspective. You know what I'm
Ex-
saying? But I feel like we
exactly.
could say that. I feel like you could say the same thing about men because another thing, the problem is I feel like a lot of men don't understand or they don't get taught masculinity because masculinity is evil today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
but
evil.
but here's the thing. Now here's another thing, bro. Now, do you agree? Like, I'm not gonna say agree because I'm not gonna say exactly that I think this, but the first thing that came to my head when you said that though is that why is masculinity toxic today though? It's because of
But women, you say women?
right, exactly, but that's the truth. Like it's toxic because women said it's toxic because anytime a man does some manly stuff, you know what I'm saying, a woman's like, "Ah, that's toxic," or "You're trying to control me, so that's toxic masculinity because you have rules and regulations and these other things and all, you know what I'm saying, or because you won't let me go do what I want to do and be how I want to be and disrespect you and all this other stuff, like you're toxic masculinity." And now it's a whole big thing and men are afraid to be masculine because, you know what I'm saying, they're afraid that, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna lose the girl or, you know what I'm saying, some
Yeah,
other goofy stuff, bro. So, you know what I'm saying,
because
again,
that's what they were told. That's what they're told because women are in power and they get to tell you the rules, even if the rules are not true. You know what I'm saying? Like the rules aren't true. Like, haven't you seen those videos? I've seen a lot of videos like this where, like, like the feminist. I'm gonna say that the feminist side of the political spectrum is the Democrat, but then you look at I see all these videos where people are like, oh, like, what do you find? They ask women, Democrat women,
yeah.
what do you find attractive about Democrat men? And they're like, honestly, I hate all Democrat men. They like bitches or whatever, and I don't like them. Like, I don't like dating them. They all
What?
super unattractive.
Wow.
Like, and I've seen tons of videos like this, and it's like, yeah, because Democrat men are feminine, and women don't like feminine men. They like
Yeah.
masculine men. But at the same time, they're gonna tell you that it's evil. So like that's what
Right.
I'm saying. That's how people get in this
Right.
trap because they grow up and then they get taught masculinity is evil. Obviously it's not the exact words, but they get taught masculinity is evil. Don't
Right.
act how you're naturally programmed to act. Act be sit still in class. Don't move around. Don't fight. Zero tolerance. You know what I'm saying? Be nice to women, and then they do that, and then it doesn't work. And then they like, what's going on? Well, everyone tells me to be nice to women, and I be nice to women. And she's like, ew, you're disgusting. You're a nerd. You're
Nah.
a geek. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh, be
Facts.
yourself. Oh, well, myself. Well, I like Star Wars. And then it's like, well, I need to find a girl that likes Star Wars. Ew, you like geek stuff. I don't like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? Like,
facts.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get
And it's
exactly what you
like,
mean.
you know what I'm saying? And then they get confused. And that's because I was going to say women don't know what they want, which is true. But in reality, everyone, most people don't know what they want because most people don't have self awareness. So I'm going to say most people don't
True.
know what they want.
Yeah.
But then women, it's right now they are in the position to showcase how much they don't know what they want, and then that's why
Right. So you're saying that because of the status quo right now and women being in power, that is showing off their flaws a little bit more than men's flaws.
yeah,
You
exactly,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
That's why it seems like they the target, which they are the target, but because they're in power. So you're punching up. A lot of people don't like punching down. What I mean, because men are
Yeah.
they are in the trenches right now. So punching men is like not popular. I mean, unless you're a Democrat, then you love that. But
Come on, then you love
like,
that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? With that, you know what I'm saying? What you're saying, like with women's traits being a little bit more on display, you know what I'm saying? Can you tell me, like, what within a relationship, you know what I'm saying? What do you feel like? Tell me both sides. Tell me, what do you feel like is the main struggle with the men, and what do you feel like is the main struggle with the women? Like the main contributing factor to why we have so many, you know what I'm saying, failed marriages, and you know what I'm saying, relationships that don't work, or women leaving men, you know what I'm saying? Cuz mostly women leave. It's not really men who leave the women, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
That's an actual statistic. I don't know
Well, they have no incentive to leave. The
yeah.
man has no incentive to leave, so he's not going to leave. Obviously,
Right.
most of the time.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you feel is like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, typically when a woman leaves the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what the actual story is behind the leaving or what the actual thing was, like, the man is kind of demonized, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Regardless, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of want you to expand on like what is it actually that the man is doing, you know what I'm saying, and what is it that the woman is doing that, you know what I'm saying, you feel like needs to be fixed, you know what I'm saying, for things to actually work out, you know. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of like I said, failed marriages, divorces,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, things like that. You know what I'm saying? I myself am a victim of that. So, you know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Right. Well, I mean, I think. Well, where you want me to start talking about the female problem or the male problem
You can start talking
first?
about whichever one you want to talk about first. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
Um.
want to talk about first.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the female problem. That way, I don't. They can stick around to hear me talk about punch down to the men. You know what I mean? Because
Good
you
idea.
know what
Good
I mean,
idea. Stick
right?
around,
So
women. Stick around. We're gonna get to the
let's
men.
talk about the female problem first. And then I can punch out the men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah, but the female problem, right, in the relationship is they don't understand what the purpose of a relationship is. Okay, because
Preach.
well, like, and I mean, this is also a male problem, right? But the females are in power, so it's exacerbated, right? And the
Yeah.
men not understanding it don't really matter because their interests align with the correct way. But anyway, like, yeah, they don't understand what a relationship is. So what media tells everyone is that a relationship is purely about your feelings. So if you
Right.
feel happy, then the relationship is good, and if you feel sad, then the relationship is bad, which is not true at all. That has nothing to do with a relationship at all.
It
The
doesn't.
a relationship, a marriage, I'm not going to say relationship, like, a marriage,
Yeah.
right? Or even a boyfriend girlfriend situation,
Yeah.
is about one. Well, the main thing has been about for all of history is children, because society needs children in order to function,
Right.
right? And a lot of people don't like kids anymore, so I'm gonna move off that. But I'm saying the main thing a relationship is supposed to be about is children and their needs. So that's number one, right? That's what people
Right.
don't understand. So like, if
Yeah.
you're not happy, back in the day, people understood the relationship wasn't about you, it's about the kids. So if you're not happy, that doesn't matter because your kids are the main focus. It's lower down on the priority. Like, it's still a priority, but it's lower down the priority.
Right.
And then another thing, part two, relationship was about financial stability. So like back in the day, two families would essentially, you would marry off your daughter, and that would bring in income to your house because you sold them. And then
Right.
the man, he will be able to have his kids, and then he'll be able to build generational wealth. So it's about financial stability. That was why people got married, and then
Right.
that was again more important than your feelings, right?
Yeah.
So like the
Most
financial
definitely.
stability, you understand, well, I got married because I need the financial stability. So my feelings don't matter as much as the financial stability. So even if I feel bad right now, right, I'm not going to leave,
Right. I'm
right?
gonna
And
stay.
that was the
Yeah.
purpose. And then
Right.
another thing back in the day, which is another contributor, um, obviously, if you left and you're a woman, you're cooked because you only
Yeah.
get one man. Even if your
Yep.
man dies and you're a widow,
You
you're
gotta be a
cooked.
widow
Like,
forever. You're cooked. Yeah.
yeah, you're cooked. Like there's no remarrying, which wasn't the best thing, but there are bad things about good societies, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
anyway,
For sure.
that's the basis. That's the basis of
So
the female problem.
to
And
sum it up, what you just said, basically, I'm just
well,
making
let me
sure.
let me keep going for a second. Let me keep
Yeah.
going for a
Okay.
second.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So that's the basic level. That's the basic level of why relationships don't work, because now everything is about your feelings, because financial stability doesn't matter, because
Yeah.
women get preferential treatment from the government, and also women on
Facts.
average now more earn more than men if they decide to work. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? There's a
Yep.
lot of DEI jobs and stuff like that are preferential towards women, and then women also have laws that are in their favor, like divorce laws or child laws, you know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
you can, if you have a job and you have a kid, then you get like paid leave or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yep.
yeah, women don't need men for financial stability. And then
Yeah.
feminism says having children is evil. So most women don't want to have children anymore. So it's not about the children either. And then also it prioritizes their own needs, right? Over the kids, even when they do have children. Well, if you're not
Yeah.
happy, well, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they've completely missed the plot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With it. So that's why the relationship doesn't work, because they don't understand that it's not all about that. They don't. First of all, the only reason they're getting into a relationship is their emotions, and that's
Yeah.
not, your emotions aren't stable. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like even male emotions aren't stable. Like sometimes I feel mad. Sometimes I feel sad. Sometimes I feel happy. You know what I'm saying? It's a roller coaster. And then even
Yeah.
if you're a stable person, your emotions are not going to be stable because your emotions just happen to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Different things
women, they don't
happen.
understand that, just because they're not happy right now doesn't mean they're not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And they all
Right.
excitement chasers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. They don't know how to just chill and go for the ride, man, because you might not be happy today, but tomorrow you could be ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? Every day won't be a smile. You know what I'm saying? That goes for anyone's life with anything. You know what I'm saying? That's not just,
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Every day is not a smile. Like, as a man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have the weight of the world on my shoulders already, you know what I'm saying? And then adding a woman just adds more weight on top of it. Like, and nobody gives you a pat on the back as a man, you know what I'm saying, for getting up and going to
Mm,
work every day. They don't say, know what I'm saying, I know it's really hard for you to get up, you know what I'm saying, and go work yesterday. You were feeling depressed, you know what I'm saying, your grandma died, you know what I'm saying, all these other
yeah,
things weighing on you. And you know what I'm saying, how hard and tough it is to keep pushing through and be like, well, nobody else cares, so how should I care about my own feelings? You know what I'm saying? And just keep, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta provide, I gotta pay bills, I
yeah,
gotta, you know what I'm saying? And no one's, you know what I'm saying, men aren't stopping going to work, you know what I'm saying, because of this, you know what I'm saying, or stopping
yeah,
paying their bills because of this, you know what I'm saying.
yeah. Because you
And
can't.
exactly, you can't.
Like
But
women can.
women can. That's the crazy part. Women can, man. And like that's like so crazy to me, like that women are like not held to none of the basic like standards that, you know what I'm saying, men are held to. Like they're just able to pretty much do whatever they want to do, and it's supposed to
Right.
be okay. You can work, you cannot work, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You can stay with your man, you can leave your man, it's okay. You can cheat,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can be faithful, it's okay.
I I
Like,
want to say something about that
you know what
when
I'm
you're done.
saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So like, and that's what I was talking about earlier, where it's like I feel like it's exacerbating issues that are existed, because the reason why no one holds women to any sort of standard is because we've never done that. You know what I'm saying? The only standard they got held to was like basically purity, and then
Right.
you
And
know what I'm
then
saying,
that
not
went out
acting
the
crazy
window.
in
That
public.
went out the window.
And yeah, and that's gone now. And the reason we didn't is because women had no power. So to it made no sense to hold them to a standard when they have no power. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Right,
you're
but
a
I feel
man,
like the rules
you
have
know
to
what I'm
be
saying?
the rules have to be adjusted now because women do have
No, I agree.
power. Like what?
Right?
Like
I agree. I
yeah,
agree 100%.
for
Right?
sure. Yeah.
But I mean, like back in the day, you know, what I mean, if you're a man blaming a woman for your problems, it's like, bro, like, what's wrong with you, bro? It's like you decide everything. You're in control of your own life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Blaming a
Yeah.
woman for your problems, that's weak. That's weak stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's again masculinity, which is dead now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but yeah, but yeah. Well, I guess that's a good segue into talking about men. Men, the problem with men in the relationship, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? So the problem with men in the relationship is that they don't understand how to be masculine. So it's the same way. Like it's the same both ways. Like women don't understand how to be feminine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and they trying to always be in control and all this. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this side note. You know, there's men have on an individual spectrum, men have do things that are feminine and they do things that are masculine. But you know, as a man, you're expected to be mostly masculine and a little bit feminine. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing for women. You know,
Right.
that's what makes people happy. You know, men
Yeah.
want women who are mostly feminine and then also a little bit masculine. And the ratios, you can decide that on individual preference. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
saying women bad or femininity bad and masculinity good. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, is different ratios, and this is all based off what people want. You know what I mean? Most
Right.
women want men who are masculine. Okay, mostly masculine. You know what I'm saying? And most
Yeah.
men want women who are mostly feminine. So it's all based on what people want. It's not a matter of good or bad. This is just how society works. This is why women act mostly feminine, and then this is why. Well, that's how they got the labels in the first place, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But moving that aside, that just so I don't make anyone mad, you know what I'm saying? Because like I do that now, but like whatever. But anyway, yeah, the problem, like I was just saying, is that men in the relationship are not acting like men; they're acting like women because that's what
Yeah.
they're told to do.
Yeah,
And then
facts.
when you act like a woman, she's not going to be happy because she wants a man, even though she told you to act like a woman,
To act like a woman.
right?
Yeah.
And that's why men get mad because they listen to women because they're in power, and then the women they don't want to be listened to. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
So
But they don't want to
you're
be but here's the thing though. I a little bit disagree with you on that, on the they don't want you to listen. Like they want you to listen until it creates something that they don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel like, because like for example, like women want a strong man, you know what I'm saying? That's what they want.
mm,
But at the same token, that same strong man, they want him docile enough to not challenge her. You know what I'm saying? Like they still want to do, you know what I'm saying, what they want to do, and they kind of do want to run shit, bro. That's why they're running shit now, because
no, I don't.
running stuff now. You know what I'm saying? But they want to be in charge, bro. Like but they want how I see it, they want to be in charge, but they want you to act like you're in charge. That's how I see it.
Nah, that's not true.
Okay,
I would say that's not
why
true.
do you disagree with that? Because like I can give you a perfect example.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say who I was talking to, who said this to me,
Yeah,
but
Georgina.
yeah, right, Georgina. So Georgina, you know what I'm saying, said, you know what I'm saying, you gotta fall in line with my program. You know what I'm saying? Get online with my program. And my program is only to get you, you know what I'm saying? Like basically I'm telling you my program and I'm telling you what to do and you have to do all these things, you know what I'm saying? So that you can be a strong man and be this image of what I have in my head. You know what I'm saying? Basically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that essentially is like you want me to do all these things that you want me to do that you view as a strong man, you know what I'm saying? Whether that has any indication on whether I'm actually a strong man or not, you know what I'm saying? But you want me to do all these things because that's what you think makes a strong man and that's what you want displayed. You know, even if these things go against like my personal, you know what I'm saying, wants or my personal, you know what I'm saying, like ambitions to do things. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so what would you call that then? Like, that's
Well,
controlling. That's what you want to be in charge. You want to give the orders. You want things to go the way you want them to go. Like, even if you're saying, I want him to be the strong man, but you're trying to make him do, these things. That's what you want. That's what you want. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying, but I disagree with that's what they actually want, right? See, the thing is, women are also a victim of being lied to by society, like men. Men are being lied to by women, and women are being lied to by society
Okay.
because attraction. Okay, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about this, right? So, okay, like fat women. Okay, I'm gonna just say it. Most women don't like fat women. Okay, it's just a fact. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But now, what does the media say? Oh, well, everyone's beautiful, and
Beautiful.
even if she fat, she a 10. You know what I'm saying? Does that make
Crazy.
you like fat women anymore?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. But what do you say in public? You say, you'll see, now I'm destroying my image by saying this, by saying what everyone believes, right? but
Right.
right.
Nah,
But in
for real.
public, you say, oh, well, yeah, well, everyone's beautiful, and blah blah blah. But you say that in public, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with women. The media tells them, well, you want a man who's gonna listen to you, and you need to be in charge, and then that's what they
Right.
believe in their head. But then what
Yeah.
happened? Then they get a man that do that, and they say, "I don't like that. That's disgusting."
Right.
Because
That's
just the same
crazy.
way that you don't like fat women, you can say it and convince yourself of that, but that doesn't mean you're going to be any more attracted to her because that's not how it works. Because it's biological. All right, it's a
Exactly.
biological element. It's not something you change in your head. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, "Well, I'm going to be attracted to fat women now," and then you are.
Right.
Okay,
Like,
no,
you can't
like
make
you're
that
not.
decision. You're just not attracted to that
You're
shit.
exactly right. And then you can tell everyone that you're attracted to fat women and you want women to be more fat, but that's not going to affect how you feel about them. Okay? Like it's not going to affect that. And it's the same thing for women. They tell everyone that they want to be in charge and then they act like they want to be in charge, but that doesn't mean they actually want a man who's going to fall under their program. Okay?
Right.
And that's part of people not understanding themselves. And this is what I'm talking about. They listen to women who are telling them stuff that's fake because that's what the media says, right? And then they want to be it's a dynamic situation, right? It's a
Yeah.
dynamic situation
Nah,
because
for real.
in some instances it seems like they want to be in charge, but that's because women
Yeah.
operate. This is home math stuff, bro. And I guess it's not. Plug. Go watch Home Math if you like. Talking about women. He's very smart. He
Plug-in
explains
home
a lot of
math.
things.
Plug-in home
Yeah,
math.
I mean,
Psycho math.
yeah,
Plug-in psycho math. Whole math. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like women, they operate on two axes, right? So there's
Yeah.
the attraction axis. So there's the attraction axis, or maybe you could put up the chart. I don't know, like if you want, maybe in the editing, but there's the attraction
Yeah.
axis, right? And the attraction axis is essentially your looks and masculinity, right? And
Yeah.
then that's her being physically attracted to you.
Right.
So, and then she has an attraction axis, she has an investment axis. So that's you giving her money and I mean making her feel safe and protected and being emotionally supportive and all that, right?
Right.
And she wants both. She wants to be, if the chart's like this, she wants to be this. You know what I'm saying? She wants
Yeah.
both. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So then essentially that's why if you are just one, so like let's say you just masculine, then she's attracted to you, so she be with you. But then she's complaining. Why? Because you're not giving her any investment if you're just attractive, right? If you're just masculine,
Right.
right?
I get
Masculine and
you.
attractive. Then
Yeah.
she's complaining, well, you don't invest, blah, 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 blah. Right. And then obviously she's brainwashed by society to say that you need to follow with her program, but that's not what she means. That's not what she actually wants. What she wants
Right.
you is just invest in her, right? She wants you to invest money in her, right? Or emotional support in her or whatever. And if
Right.
she's not getting that, now what she's gonna do is she's gonna find some guy that'll invest emotionally in her or financially in her, and that's how you get the friend zone guy. You know what I'm saying? Where she's dating the bad boy, right? But then she's also hanging out with the friend zone guy, you know what I'm saying? Because the bad
Yeah.
boy won't give her any investment. So she needs both of her needs met. So now she's just using two guys to do that, right? And
Right,
then
I get you. But that is that is
it,
that's kind of messed up though, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Because I feel like, at least I'm putting myself in this situation right now that you're creating, or that you're
Mm.
explaining. And I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real about the human psyche, right? Real quick, like
Okay.
everything in life, everything in life that you do with another person, you're doing it with them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's little factors like, okay, do you like this person? Not talking about it has to be sexual liking, but like, do you like this
Right.
person as a person? You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Do you enjoy being around this person? But most things that you do with another person, you're doing them because in some way they're mutually beneficial. So you're
Yeah.
getting something from it. You know what I'm saying? I.e., you might have a best friend, you know what I'm saying, who you always hang out with, you know what I'm saying, and y'all always go out to the bar, you know what I'm saying, and drink. Now, if you're the one paying for those drinks every time at the bar, eventually you're going to stop hanging out with that person. You probably, you know what I'm saying, unless you just got it like that and it doesn't matter to you. But most people of the average scale, you know what I'm saying, are gonna stop hanging out with that person because they're gonna get frustrated and they'll be like, I'm always paying for the
The investment
drinks.
isn't matching
Exactly.
the
The
investment to
investment,
return.
right? The investment to return isn't matching. You know what I'm saying? So that is, you know what I'm saying, goes along with that thing that I was actually trying to bring this up earlier, like with the female thing, them wanting investment, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But we should be investing in each other. Like, I should be gaining something, you should be gaining something. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same something. You know what I'm saying? It can be something comparable, but something that's important to me. You know what I'm saying? As the man or as the other person in the relationship. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, it has to be important to me and feel like it's worth, you know what I'm saying, my money or my whatever you wanting from me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what am I constantly giving to you for? And you're not giving anything back. And I think
Right.
that, you know what I'm saying, people, I think this is a people problem in general. Like, people have a problem with, you know what I'm saying, giving returns. Like, everyone these days, like, they just want to receive, they don't want to give
Mm.
anything, or they can't see how what they're giving isn't what the other person wants to receive. They're just giving what they want to
Right.
give, which a lot of times, if you're giving what you want to give, you're probably trying to give it, you know what I'm saying, because it's not inconveniencing you or not something that you really care about like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
so,
I think that, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm just add a little caveat. I think that people are not at a high enough level of awareness to understand that people have different needs. So they think I'm giving this to you because so what they want to give, they think that's what the other person also wants to receive because they don't
right.
compute that people are different, or people are have different needs, so
Yeah,
that it's not computing in their brain. So for them, they're like, well, I'm giving you all this stuff, but you're like, I don't want any of that stuff, what you're giving me. And that they
exactly.
don't understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Facts.
And I think, if I can continue, like what you're saying, the thing about women is, women aren't happy either with the situation. That's the thing. And that's because people don't tell them these things, right?
Yeah.
They're not, people aren't telling them in society. No one's telling you. When you open up your phone, most people aren't telling you, or the PC people that you want to listen to, right? That
Yeah.
that you're allowed to listen to,
Right.
aren't telling you that you need to give anything. And that's why they're not happy, because they don't understand that they need to give something, because they don't understand that, right? So they don't
Right.
understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Cause, cause,
because what
cause,
they're
cause,
told
cause,
is,
cause cat, cause kitty cat is not enough. It's not enough,
yeah,
ladies.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the thing is, like it's enough for some people, but I mean, like, the person that you're attracted to is not, he don't care, because he can get that from anyone. Because that's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're attracted to him, other people are also probably attracted to him, right? If
That
you
part.
attracted to him enough that you want to be there and you want to be his one and only, that's it's not just you, right? So
That part.
he don't need to put in anything to get that. And then you have to be something more than the other people. You have to be something more than just there and, providing, the coochie. You understand? Right?
Exactly.
Like, you have to
Exactly.
be something more than that, because he can get that from anywhere. So I mean, like, if you like you understand, like you have to I'm gonna try to frame this for women, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
If
for
you
it.
are a woman, right, and you have 100 people in your DMs offering to take you out to a $100 date, right? You have 100 people doing that, okay, and then you see a guy and he's like, "Oh, well, I'll take you out on a $100 date."
Yeah.
You like, okay, whatever. I got 100 other people that are gonna do that. You know what I mean? So like, why would I give you something? Why would I give you anything when I got 100? Why would I give you something when I got 100 other people that are willing to do the same thing for me for free? And that's what the guy's thinking. The guy who you're attracted to,
Right.
he's thinking like, well,
Yeah.
why would I invest money in you, which is what you want? Why would I invest money in you when I'm getting what I want for free, or I'm getting this for free? And if you
Exactly.
are gonna be like, well, I'm gonna leave if you don't invest, and you could be okay, I can get it from I
From
can get it from
somewhere
anywhere.
else,
Like,
right?
okay, like, all
Exactly.
right, have fun, like, like,
Yeah, for
okay,
real.
you know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Exactly.
but they're not told. That's why they're confused, because they're not told that, the guy doesn't just want, what I'm saying, your coochie. And then they look at the past when society was different, what I'm saying, and you
Yeah.
could get away with just being there more or less because, what I'm saying, like, they didn't have a lot of options, so like you didn't really
Right.
have to do that much because you could just exist, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then society has changed, and then they're not adapting with the times,
Right. They're not
and the
adjusting.
people who are supposed to be explaining what's changed are not doing that. So then that's why they're unhappy. So yeah, you got to provide something other than like, you got to provide something that he wants, and what he wants isn't what you necessarily want to give or what you want. So you got to like listen to them and see what they want if you want to be with the guy that you like, the bad boy who's not giving you any investment. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. Cause I mean, let's be real. Does a man really want to give all his money to a woman? Probably not, bro. But he does it because that's what you want. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think he does. I think most men would prefer one woman. You would just prefer the same woman. I think that
Yeah,
most men,
prefer the same
they would just
woman,
prefer the
but
same to have the same woman.
prefer the same woman, but I'm talking about giving a woman your money. Not specifically. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
how many
right.
women you want.
No, no, no. But I'm saying, like, if he had a choice, what I'm saying, he could just pick. You know what I'm saying? He would
Yeah.
probably Most men would probably prefer to get married to one woman and just invest in that one woman
Oh yeah,
because it's
most
less
definitely.
hassle, it's more consistent. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
Yeah.
most men actually want that. The problem is you are not providing anything to him,
Right.
that, and you are not signaling to him,
That he should be in.
understand
That he should be investing. You know what I'm
that
saying?
you're a good investment, right?
Yeah.
So
There
that's
you
why he's
go.
not investing, because it's like, well, I'm
That's
going
the
to
way.
invest in you, and then you're going to blow it all up. So it's like, why would I invest in
Exactly.
you? You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And then also,
investing
you're not
you.
providing anything.
I'm investing you, but you're gonna be sleeping with Joe Bob next week. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Exactly.
gonna
So it's like,
invest in you, but you won't clean up the house. I'm gonna invest in you, but you won't cook a meal. I'm gonna invest in you, but you don't like to suck dick. Like all these things, man. You know what I'm
or yeah,
saying?
whatever, right? But and then I think also, another thing. I think that's why I think the relationship that works the most today is the
Yeah.
power couple, because the power couple, they both on different terms than everyone else. So I think that's the most where the most working relationships are at,
What do you mean
right? Is the
they're
power
both
couple.
on different terms than everyone else?
Well, I mean, they're both doing something different than what society says.
Oh
Because I
yeah,
mean, what
yeah.
in like the manosphere, if you're a man, they're saying, well, a woman, she gotta cook, clean, and give the coochie, or else, it's no. That's like what they're saying in the manosphere, right? So that's
Right.
what the men are listening to, right? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, because that's where they get the validation. You know what I'm saying? And then the women are listening to well, you just got to show up, and then he got to pay you and pay your bills and get your nails done. And it don't matter if he not making at least six figures and then spending at least 90% of that six figures on you, then,
Right.
you're not with a man that's worth your time. And that's what they're listening to, because they get the validation. But in the power couple situation,
Crazy.
neither of them are listening to those sources. So
Right.
right, so they have their own idea, and that's why I think the power couple situation is the ones that work the most in terms of actually successful relationships, because both of
Yeah.
them are not listening to the outside sources. They're all deciding what they want for themselves, and they're negotiating their own value, right? Whereas other people, they're just listening to external stuff, and then they don't understand, like, they don't even understand how to do a they don't understand that they even what a need to do a value negotiation, or even if they do understand that, they don't understand how to do it or when to do it or what. They're in the
Yeah.
circus. So
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I think like both sides need to be thinking of like this main thing, like change their main prerogative from you know what I'm saying. I think this goes along with your power couple statement. Like I can say probably that the mindset of a power couple is not I deserve, but it's I contribute. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be
That yeah,
thinking.
both sides are trying to out contribute each other. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly. They're trying to out contribute each other. So, you know what I'm saying? That goes into investment on both sides. And then I feel like that builds and makes the relationship stronger because, you know what I'm saying? Now you're both looking out for each other. Now you're both looking out for each other's needs. Now you're both in it together. You really feel like you're in it together. When it's one sided, and the man, or even sometimes even because there's you know what I'm saying, women that are doing all the investment as well. You got some bum ass niggas,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
If
saying,
you're with a
sitting.
if with an attractive guy, yeah,
Yeah,
then the lower attractive woman who feels like she can't get a guy of that level, yeah, she's gonna invest a lot
and
more.
invest a lot more. Or just the guy who won't do anything, you know what I'm saying, but he got good dick, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and the woman's contributing everything, like, you know what I'm saying. What, I didn't just forgot what I was gonna say. Dang, just messed up. Um, but yeah.
The
So
power couple.
yeah, the power couple. So the statement should be not I deserve, but I contribute. And with both sides contributing and investing, then I believe that makes the bond so much stronger because, like I said, you're
Mm.
in it. You're in it together at that point. You know what I'm saying? And you really feel like you're in it together, and you don't feel like you're alone in the situation, just basically carrying dead weight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Yeah,
essentially,
right.
you know what I'm saying, the feeling I've gotten in situations in my life personally, or you know, situations that I've seen. Like a lot of times one person feels like they're carrying all the weight, and you know what I'm saying, that that can ruin the relationship as well, because once you feel like you're the only one doing anything, you kind of just give up, or you get tired, you get exasperated, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm tired of contributing all of myself and providing everything, and you doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. And I think another thing that contributes is just to add on is like I wish people would stop calling it a game. Like I really wish they do because like
what,
in a
life?
game,
Stop calling life a
no,
game?
I'm talking about the relationship. You know what I'm saying? They
Oh
play but like
yeah.
even like Kevin Samuels will say this says you gotta play the game. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
bro, a
Yeah,
relationship
no,
is
it's
not
not
a
a
game.
game. It's not a
It's
game.
not a game, it's a relationship. And then people are playing the game and they're trying to win. And win is winning the game is min-maxing. I give the least amount possible for the most amount of return. Right.
Yeah.
And like that's not that there's no relationship that is healthy, you know what I'm saying,
That's min
that
maxing.
is min-maxed. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. All right. There's no one in the healthy relationship. And I mean, honestly, those relationships, if it's not healthy, it's unsustainable. Right.
Yeah.
So eventually it's gonna die. So even if you're winning out in that moment, you're not gonna be winning forever. So you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
think I really wish
That
people would
part.
stop trying to play it like a game and try to get over on the other person. It's really dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah. Essentially, you know what I'm saying? People want Michelin star service with McDonald's effort, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Like they want that premium treatment, but they don't want to provide premium treatment in return. They just want to get it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Feel like they're the star of the show, you know?
Right, right. I wanted to say this thing too. I was like, like you don't have to change anything what you're doing, but I think like really everyone, especially if you made this far in the podcast, right? Like
Right,
I
yeah.
think
If you made it this
everyone,
far, man, kudos. We appreciate you. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Love. Like the video, comment, subscribe. You feel me, for more. We're going to wrap it up soon, but keep going. Go ahead with what you're going to say,
Yeah,
Wisdom.
yeah, right. I think like this is why I'm coming back to like, not everyone's gonna change, but if you are an individual and you are watching this, right, you have to understand that you have power over your situation. And then you should really ask yourself what is really important to you, right? Because I mean, like,
Right.
you can like if you playing the game right now, you know what I'm saying, you playing the game, right? You gotta ask yourself what's really important to you, right? Do you want to be happy or not? Right. And
Exactly.
regardless of how unfair it is, because yeah, it's unfair. You got to operate on different rules, and you got to understand things that other people don't understand. And yeah, you're gonna have to put in a lot of work. You know what I'm saying, that other people aren't putting in, or change your lifestyle, which is work. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying, and it's not gonna be easy. you know what I'm saying? And you're probably going to relapse and it's going to be a lot of effort, right? But
Right.
you got to really ask yourself, is the work that you have to do worth it? You know what I'm saying? And if it's not, don't
Exactly.
change. But if you think that it is, and you're like, yeah, well, I really want a relationship that's going to be successful and I want to be happy, whether you're a man or a woman, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, then put in the work, you know what I mean? Because I mean, you
Exactly.
can complain about it and say, well, this is unfair and I should be doing this. But the reality is, should isn't is,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Yep.
what you really have to understand. Like, just because something should be a way it is, regardless of whether or not that's true or not, just because you think something should be the way it is, does not mean that's the way it is. And no matter
Exactly.
how much you say, well, it should be like this, it's not going to be like that. Right.
Nah, facts.
So
People got to
do you
live in
want it?
reality.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to achieve something or not? Because that should be the only question. Like you should remove should from your vocabulary. Because that's what I did. Because I'm like, should don't matter. Like, I mean, it's not how it is. You know what I'm saying? Well, it should be like this, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
Now I got one more question that I want to ask you, and it goes off of the last thing we were talking about, with the whole min maxing and everything, and people being entitled and wanting to you know what I'm saying, give the least amount while receiving the maximum amount. And I'm gonna ask is the one question, but I wanna hear what you have to say about both sides. So I want to say I'm gonna frame it this way for the women because uh, typically they want a man's monetary contribution. So for the women's question is, do you feel like a woman should contribute monetarily to the relationship? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, whether that be bills or, you know what I'm saying, items that are needed, you know what I'm saying, anything like that. And what do you feel is the counter flip side of that to the male perspective? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, men already are expected to provide monetarily. So, what is the equivalent to that on the male side of what men can be? Another thing that men could be expected to bring to the table in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because the way that I view it, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to answer the question first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I feel like if a woman is not contributing anything else, and I'm going to use the traditional value system to explain this here, like, okay, if you're you know what I'm saying, cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids and, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, womanly stuff, you could be doing the laundry, all that, everything, then, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna expect you to contribute less monetarily because you're contributing in other ways. But if you're not doing any of that, you can't cook, you don't clean, you know what I'm saying, or you want me to always clean up and stuff and everything, like, you know what I'm saying, as the man who's doing everything, I'm saying, then, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to expect you to contribute monetarily, because what else are you contributing? What else can you contribute except for money? You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect you to contribute monetarily. Then if you can't contribute anything else consistently, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. What else are you gonna contribute? You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm.
how are we evening it out here? You know?
Right. Well, I want to ask a question about like what you're saying. So I feel like I kind of have two answers for this.
Yeah.
Um, but like I feel like it depends. So like, are you asking like in general, what do you think most men want a woman to contribute? Because I feel like we already know what a woman wants a man to contribute, right? I feel like that's what we've been
Yeah.
talking about this whole time, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, what
Like
would?
just like an in general template.
Yeah. In general template. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start with the in general template, and then I'm gonna add my own piece. But
Yeah.
um, like the in general template, I think. Well, I don't know because I mean like yeah, like for one thing, I think I lied. I'm not gonna start with the in general template. I'm gonna throw that
All
out the window
right.
because I think like everyone in this day and age, like we used to live in a society where it was the man contributes the money, and then the woman does the household chores, traditional values. We used to live in a
Right.
society that was that. And then
Yeah.
everyone grew up with that idea implanted into their head. And then as they grew up, it grew on them, whatever they was actually in there. And then that's what they expected. And that's what they all wanted, right? Because it was
Right.
implanted in them from like a young age, right? That
Yeah.
was the value transaction.
Right.
Now there is
Exactly.
no the value transaction, right? We have
Yeah.
the old that was the value transaction, but now it doesn't really exist. I think because I think a lot of people have different ideas of what they want. I think some people don't want a traditional relationship. Some people want a power couple relationship where, it's 50-50. Some people would prefer that over traditional. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think it really, like, if you're the in general template is, you have to ask, like, what are you looking for in a man or a woman? Because some men, they don't want to be the breadwinner, and especially in this day and age, it's hard for the men to be a breadwinner
Hard.
because, for one, in general, men make less money than women on average.
Yep.
Right now, that's the new statistic. Right, I'm saying the feminists, they've been to talk about the old statistics that are not true anymore. But
Exactly.
I'm saying, but now, and then, so like a man, and then a lot of men are okay with the idea. Here's another thing that women are lying about. Like, they say, oh, well, you just don't want a woman to be in charge. A lot of men now are actually okay with with a woman being in charge. And I think, honestly, like, in general, I think a lot of men, I think they're always okay with that. Like, I mean, I know people now where they're like, oh, serious? Like, if I could have a hot girl just take care of me, and then all I got to do, like, you reverse the value transaction, right? All I got to do is sit around, cook, clean, take care of the kids. They'd be like,
Exactly.
that's easy. Like, hey,
Easy,
yo,
light
like,
work, bro.
sign me
I
up.
do
Like,
that. Yeah, I do
bro,
that
what?
for
Like, you telling me
sure.
she want to go to work? Like, and then all I got
Exactly.
to do is sit around the house, and then I just cook, clean, 3 meals a day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe give her a massage, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be nice,
Exact.
be emotionally supportive. That's all I got to do. I think a lot of men would sign up for that immediately. They'd be like, yes,
I
like,
would, bro.
hot girl doing all that for
Wouldn't
me,
you? Wouldn't you? Yeah, I would sign up
right?
for that, bro. I'd be the best
It, it,
home
exactly.
caretaker
I mean, I
ever.
would sign up for that. I would sign up
Exactly.
for that. I do it. I do better than what she wanted. I make sure I do
Exactly.
better than what she wanted.
Nah, for
Like,
real.
But I mean, that's not a value transaction that most women want. So
No,
that's
it's
the
not.
reason why we don't do it. But
Exactly. We
as
can fantasize, ladies. No, just playing.
yeah, right. But like, but like, what I'm saying is, like, you got to negotiate your own value transaction, because you don't really know. I feel like now you can't really say for sure what a man has in as his ideal, because
Yeah.
we lost the societal aspect of this is what the ideal is, right? That's
Yeah.
all old. People
Right.
are referencing old stuff. So I mean, I think you should just ask. I like, what I'm saying, what you want, because some people, they might want 50-50, or some people might just want you to do that. So I think everyone should just be asking. I think that should be the default value
Yeah.
transaction, is you just ask.
I
Like, just
agree.
ask.
I agree. I
You know what I'm
think that's
saying?
the best. I think that's the best way to move forward with that. Is like everyone should just be asking like what their partner expects of them, or what would be their ideal situation. Because I think then you can knock out a lot of extra time and frustration as well if you just straight up ask that question, like, what do you want, or what is your ideal version of this relationship? And then if your ideal version of the relationships don't align and you can't come to an agreement on that, then you pretty much already know, like, this is a situation that's not gonna work for me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And then you can just avoid the whole situation instead of going through all this trouble and arguing, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're in the mystery circus where you don't actually know what they wanted in the first place, but you're trying to give
Exactly.
what you think they wanted, but then that's not what they wanted, and it's the mystery circus. And then you only find out afterwards that that's not what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then
Exactly.
mystery circus,
Mystery
right?
circus,
And
yeah.
let me add one caveat to that. Let me add one caveat. If you're a man, okay, because men, pretty much, if you ask them a question, they finna, unless, like, society is stopping them,
Yeah.
more or less, I mean, men are just gonna tell you the answer how it is. But
Right.
women are not like that. They communicate in different ways. And I'm not adding women or anything, saying that that's bad. But, like, if you're a man, and a woman tells you, why I want XYZ, and then you give her XYZ, and then she's like, I don't, then she don't look like she wanted, and she looked disgusted, then you got to understand that she not telling you what she want, and you got to
Exactly.
switch gears, right? And
Yeah.
in this day and age, you gotta just just give up. It's just smarter because a lot of women they want men to read their minds and understand their feelings, which is
Which
just
I
not gonna
don't
happen.
understand, bro. Like, I'm not a mind reader. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was. But, you know what I'm saying? This is men talking. Like, I'm not a mind reader. And, you know what I'm saying? Just because I've had a lot of time and energy invested into you and I've been around you a lot, that still doesn't make me capable of reading your mind. So
Right.
if you're not gonna tell me what is actually wrong or what is actually the issue or what you actually want, then how can I ever effectively fix it? You know what I'm saying? Most times, most
Right.
men do then give up, you know what I'm saying? And then they get blamed for the relationship failing, but they never knew what the real problem was
Well,
from the
whatever the reason
beginning.
is, they're finna get blamed for it failing. It don't matter.
Yeah,
Like it don't matter
exactly.
whose fault it actually was. The man finna get blamed regardless.
Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. But then sorry, let me just say this. Like
yeah,
I
go
keep
ahead. Go ahead. You're
yeah,
good.
yeah. But then I was gonna say like I don't think the mind reading thing is 100% bad. Like if you are a man and then you are successfully reading her mind most of the time, which by just means the thing that you want to give her is the thing that she wants. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If it just works, I think that's fine. I don't think a woman has to communicate necessarily what she wants. Like if you can find a person that you are just on the same page with naturally, I think
Yeah.
that's a fine relationship. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
most
then also you
definitely.
should have some communication skills. I mean, sometimes, but I mean, sometimes you can do the mind reading thing, with some stuff. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's necessarily bad. But if you try to read, if you're a man and you try to read her mind and then it don't work out, and then you ask her, well, what do you want? And then, what I'm saying, well, you should ask her first, right? But, what
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if she tell you what she want and then you can't read her mind and then you do what she tell you and then she don't like it, then that's a red flag. You should probably just get out, bro, because
Right.
you're just wasting your time. Like
You're
it's just
wasting
not
your
gonna
time.
work. So
It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Well, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we've talked their ears off enough for today, man.
yeah.
I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Once again, comment, rate, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, to the MLM Media. If you want to follow us individually, because we do, well, I don't know about Wisdom Cracked. I'm trying to get them to start making some content, man. You know what I'm saying? Besides just joining the podcast with me, I'm trying to get them to make some content. But if you want exclusive content, there is content that only gets posted on the MLM Media page, and there is
Mm.
content that will only get posted on the This Is Malik page. This is M4L1K pages. You know what I'm saying? If you're in tune with me spiritually, you know what I'm saying, you can catch all of my divine frequency videos, more coming soon, on my TikTok and on my Instagram. This is M4L1K. You will not find any more of those videos on the MLM Media page. We're going to keep the media page focused on some other stuff. So those things will be focused on the This is M4L1K page. But any new music from our artists here at MLM, whether that be Big Dugar, Lil Cap, me, Malik, you know what I'm saying, The Pretty Hustler, you know what I'm saying, 430 Infamous, then we will drop that on the MLM page. So once again, comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to the Make Life Matter podcast, episode 1. This is your boy and your
First episode.
host. Yeah, first episode, yep. This is your boy, your host, M4L1K. And this is,
Big Wisdom.
yeah, RK,
Wisdom
yep.
underscore cracked.
Yep, yep. You know what I'm saying? And we are out. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Love y'all.